Hey, here we are. That happened very suddenly. Hey everybody, it's 6 o'clock, it's Friday night, and I guess that means it's time for Dragons and Things. Hooray! Hey, you'll notice some familiar faces on our cast tonight. We've got Adam Kahn and Diana and Jared and Jamie, but you'll also notice an unfamiliar face. The face of Lamar Harris. Welcome, Lamar. Hi.
Oh, what it is, everybody?
Lamar is a good friend who has been with us since the very beginning of Walking in Circles. We knew him for many, many years. He was with us on one of the very, very first streams of a tabletop RPG that we did back in the olden times that you don't probably know that we did because it was on a totally different channel and a totally different era of our lives, and it only lasted like 2 sessions, and that was it. And then we were immediately thrown from the channel, kicked out. But now we've got him back, so it's a good time. I'm really happy to see Lamar because he's great, and he does a lot of karaoke and other streaming stuff too. Lamar, do you want to tell us where else you stream?
Hello, everybody. You can find me as Lamar the Con Guy. That's Lemar the Con Guy. I do Twitch. I do late night streams at midnight Pacific Standard Time. And then randomly, I'll just start doing Twitch sings and stuff like that. So you can follow me there, and Twitter, Instagram, all the same handle. But hi.
Hey.
Hi, DaT people.
You did it. You did it.
Yay, Lamar.
Yay.
I've introduced myself. I don't know why I'm nervous all of a sudden.
Well, tonight we are going to play some Pathfinder, but not just any old Pathfinder, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. For all of you people who are following us in the DaT Phantom days, you will note that our new endeavor, heroic endeavor, Dragons and Things Heroic Endeavors, will take place in the same world as our main show. It'll just take place in a different city. In Thaspir. It takes place in Kavalosha, the capital of Thaspir. You may or may not recognize some stuff from our World Anvil lore, and I'll actually be updating our World Anvil to include things that we introduce in DaT Heroic Endeavors, because everything that we do is technically Dragons and Things canon from here on out. And that'll last until we are done with Foreign Times, and then once we're back in the studio, we can get back to Phantom. But at least we get some good old-fashioned Dragons and Things. That means that we are doing first-level characters, so everybody that you see tonight is playing a brand new first-level character, and this is Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So I think now that we've made our announcements and we've introduced Lamar, I'll go ahead and introduce our story for this evening, and we'll get playing. Kavalosha is a city in the throes of evolution. The old guard reigns, noble families established when the country of Thaspir was founded, living in grand palaces overlooking the city. None more grand than that of Thaspir's great queen, Queen Netheria. But over the foundations, innovation grows. Magic developed in the southern reaches of the country makes everyday life in Kavalosha more wondrous by the day. One of those innovations is the HEI headquarters, a massive building of new construction that stands like a watchtower over Thaspir's capital. Great heroes and famous adventuring bands rub elbows, plot great quests, and answer the call of those in need of heroic endeavors. But this is not a story about great heroes. This is a story about you four. 5. Perhaps someday you'll be great heroes, but that's going to require a lot of work. Work like what you're being assigned by a battle-scarred elf balancing a stack of folders in one hand while he rifles through them for important HEI documents in the other. I've got an assignment in for you somewhere in here for you. You're all handpicked special for this one, so it's quite an opportunity for you. You are sitting around a wide oak table in a small conference room, having been summoned just that morning for what you were told was a special assignment from your bosses at HEI. This elf finds the document he's looking for and tosses it onto the table. You're going to be working for a very high-profile client on a mission like this. Quite frankly, I think it's above your pay grade, but that decision comes from higher up, so my opinion doesn't really have anything to do with it. The elf looks down at each of you with a serious gaze. The folder rests on the table. The elf watches you as if waiting for something, though you're not quite sure what. So what do you do?
We
read some comments.
Hey, read some comments. Let's take a look at chat and see what everybody has to say.
Well, a lot of people saying, hey.
Hey.
Crag Son of Horus is telling us, do not break Valdruin.
Don't break it.
No promises.
I mean,
We'll try
he's
not
Jim. He can
to.
break what he wants.
Crossbear 18 follows up with a don't break Jim Jam. Do break Ben Bam. Well, Ben's not here to break Jim Jam.
There's a lot of concern on where I went with my goblin voice, and the first time I speak, I'll let you know.
It'll happen in the moment.
Seems right.
Did you find one?
So somebody had mentioned too, I missed it, but it was great. It said these videos shot in the home of Sarah BC1, our mama producer. So.
Sorry, guys.
We have a couple of new follows.
Nice.
We've got Hunting the Boojum is following us.
Thank you.
Arminius is following us now, and no nukes for Samuel. Do not give any nukes to Samuel. He does not deserve them. He has not earned them.
Nukes.
No nukes
For Samuel.
for Samuel.
We got some bits coming in from Cadence and Nondrasek. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
You
guys.
know that guy.
Nathan.
Crossbones AE is asking Jim, are donates still the same?
Yes, we are using classic donations. Edges, sinks, wild magics. It's all the same as it has been for the last several weeks.
Cool.
Imp in my head says, looks like Jim Jam isn't expecting someone to make it.
Yeah.
Well,
which one of us didn't count, Jim?
Yeah, Jim, which one of us didn't count?
It was obviously Diana.
Add another one to the pile.
Oh.
Simon
Sad faces.
Jr. D says, we hope that Oopsie doesn't burn Pipa at the first occasion. Please don't burn me.
No promises. No promises.
It's Lucas Martinez says $5 on Billy D. Williams' voice for the Goblin.
If I see that $5 come across that donation, I'll Billy D. Williams that goblin.
God.
Got some more cheers from TK Lone Wolf and Pablum for you.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Here's coming in.
Nice.
Who's going to be the first bit boss?
I guess we'll find out.
Well,
We will
Duchess
find
is
out
here. Hopefully somebody won't take it from her.
Could be. Let's go ahead and get into the action. You guys are sitting around the table. There's this elf who looks like it looks like he wants to leave, but he's also sort of waiting. And there's this folder in the middle of the table. What do you guys do?
I would put my head, reach up for it, put my claws upon it. So then be like, what exactly is this mission that we must go upon?
Look, man, I didn't go over the file. It's all in there. I got like 10 other groups I got to meet this morning. Can you hurry it up?
Yes. I'll just grab it and I'll open it and start reading what our mission is about.
Okay. It looks like you are slated to have a meeting with several clients just outside the city. You see that perusing the documents, you are to meet with Lord and Lady Ovasario. Rather than meeting them in their home in the city, you are given directions to an encampment outside the city and instructed to prepare yourselves for an excursion into the Sirota Forest. Few other details are forthcoming other than the contract amount, which is a full 50 gold scales, which is a pretty hefty sum for HEI licensees of your status. All right, so now that you've gone over the documents, do you understand your assignment?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes,
thank goodness. And he as soon as he gets that verbal confirmation, he like bolts for the door.
No. Oh.
Wait, when you raise your voice, he gives you this like death glare. He's like, "What? What do you need?"
What? Hi. What do they want us to do?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't have time to babysit you through this. You're heroes or not?
Yes?
Yes, we are.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Now, do you understand the nature of your assignment?
Yes.
Okay, and he immediately just like bolts out the door, clearly eager to be out of this room. What do you guys do?
Well, do all of you need anything before we leave?
Since you're the one speaking, Mr. Khan, why don't you tell us who it is that we see?
So before you speaking, is actually about a 6 foot tall, fairly skinny humanoid lizard man. He's wearing these gray and brownish like robes tied around his waist. He's got some bracers on it, and you can see he's got a couple spines going up the back of his neck up to the top of his head. And as of right now, it looks like he's got these frills that are just kind of sitting back at the back of his head that at any moment they might open up, but they're not going to open up right now.
When they open up, do you spit venom?
No, I actually do not spit venom, but I'm very, very intimidating, Jim Jam.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Very intimidating. Think the Dilophosaurus spitter monster from Jurassic Park without the spit.
What I was already thinking.
Well, exactly, without the spit.
No spit.
Almost the same thing without the spit. And claws.
And claws. So before I interrupted you with a demand to describe yourself, you were in the middle of saying something.
I was just making sure that everyone is prepared and ready to go. I have everything that I need. What about you short ones?
I am always ready for adventure.
And as one of the short ones being addressed, who are you?
My name is Peepa. She's three feet tall. She's made out of leaves and vines. She has a morning glory flower skirt. She also has a morning glory flower up here. Her magical instrument is when she lifts up her arm. She's got a harp made out of the vines.
I'm impressed.
And she's got tall vine boots, and that's about it. And she looks adorably cute.
That's delightful. It's going to be really sad when she dies.
Jim! Stop!
So who was, two short ones were mentioned. Who might be the other short one?
That would be me. And I'm like this because POTUS paid us. He paid $10 for 2 weeks of Billy D. Goblin. So this is what you get. Which it works out well because I was actually pretty close to Pippa's voice in my head. So this is
Peepa,
okay.
Peepa.
Peepa. Well, I am Oopsie, a goblin champion redeemer, and I will bring you back to the side of good. If it is the last thing that I do.
Wow.
Excellent. We've had two people at the table who have yet to make their contributions, though one asked a question. Lamar, why don't you tell us about your character?
Hi everybody. My name is Khan Shaka. I'm from the Shaka Khan. I'm a druid, and I'm human, obviously. Like my little, I got fake little bear ears, like a thing, but they're made of branches and leaves. He has fake mud-made claw marks across his chest, and also he painted his fingers to be brown, but they're not like naturally that way. Other than his satchel and his druid stuff, he's wearing like pants and shirt that doesn't quite fit, but trying to like doing stuff, but very uncomfortable in his chair, just kind of like hunched over in all fours and just bouncing up and down. Definitely starry-eyed at the plant lady, and is like trying not to pounce and look closer.
Hey, wait. I'm not sexy. I'm adorably cute.
Doesn't matter. You are a new thing. You are a new thing into a druid. In Druidic, he says, "Can I pet you?"
Not right now, but maybe later.
I'm sorry, my brother. You're gonna have to get your own.
My own what? Aw. Hmm.
And Jamie.
Jamie's probably the most normal out of all of
Why
us.
does that always happen?
Don't be normal.
Okay, fair. Well, you see before you an elf who is very tall, lithe. You may have heard about her, rumors about her if you're a part of HEI for more than, a week. All you really know about her is that her family makes large donations to HEI. And she's a rogue, and she wears this long yellow-green, velvety dress.
Ooh.
But you can tell if you take a look at the boots she's wearing that they're mud-stained, and she's got like armor and padding under the dress, but the dress is for show. So, well, the sooner we leave, the faster we get the reward, right? So let's be gone.
Yeah.
All right. I can't walk super fast, so I will follow behind. And I just bat my eyes and I start to waddle.
So following the waddling Leshy, you all make your way out of the main corporate HEI headquarters through the streets of Cavalosha, out to the outskirts of the city, where you know that provided your directions, the directions you were given in your file are accurate, you should find an encampment of some sort. Before you leave the city, I'll just mention that you have a few resources you may not have accounted for, because we have quite a few donations coming in.
Ooh.
The real POTUS obviously paid for Billy D. Williams' voice, but then Crossbones AE has given an edge to Khan Shaka. That's going to give you a +1 that you can hold on and use whenever you feel it is necessary. However, Crossbones AE also gave me a sync, so I can impose a -1 penalty when I choose. But then Sarah BC1 came in and gave edges to the whole table.
Yay!
Yeah, no sync for Jim.
Not evil Jim Jam.
Thank you, everyone. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And there was what, the BBBB too?
Yeah, I don't know if I know
I think
who
that one
has
went
that.
to
Oh, yep, we've got,
Yeah.
that is for Jamie. Jamie's got
Yay!
a hero point.
Yay!
1 hero
Thank
point
you,
for
Crossbones.
Jamie. So you make your way outside of the city, and just beyond the limits of Cavalosha, at the very edge of the Sirota forest, is what looks to be a festival. Brightly colored tents create a circus atmosphere, and as you draw nearer, you can see people moving about like mad, making early preparations for what is certain to be a great feast. You are spotted by a worker in House Ovisario livery, who seems to have been expecting your arrival, and in short order, you are standing in the very largest and most grand of the tents in the small encampment. Before you are a man and a woman, both bedecked in jewels and lavish clothing that is likely worth more than you to take a 3 to 5. That is likely worth enough for you to take a 3 to 5 month vacation, depending on your tastes. The woman is quite beautiful, but with a stern scowl that seems to say that everything she sees does not meet her standards, and she would like to speak to someone about it. Lord and Lady Ovisario, the page who brought you in, says, before scurrying out of the opulent tent on another errand. At this point, the lady looks each of you up and down and says, "So you're heroes, are you? Then I take it any one of you would be capable and willing to do anything to keep my son safe, yes? I take it you would even die for him if necessary? Because you'd better, if you have to. If something happens to my sweet boy while he's in your care, out in those dangerous woods, I'll have you all flogged. No, flayed. No, drowned in Lake Cavalas. No, all 3 of them. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?"
Yeah.
Hello to you, too.
At this point, Lord Ovisario sort of rolls his eyes. He says, I have no doubt they are quite competent, dear, and our boy will complete his hunt safely. And then he turns his attention to all of you. He says, I don't know that the nature of your assignment has been made public. So I will tell you that tomorrow is our son's 15th birthday, and as is tradition, it is time for him to become a man. He shall head into the Sirota forest and hunt the great blue boar that lives somewhere within. To ensure the success of the hunt, And to bear as neutral witnesses to his bravery and skill, you have been hired to accompany and aid him. Now, tradition dictates that you shall leave at dawn in the morning. My son has the full day to kill the boar and return it here to camp, where it shall be roasted for his grand feast. Of course, for this, we have offered to pay 50 gold scales. Do you find this to be an acceptable arrangement?
Yes, we are here, aren't we?
Excellent.
Jim, would my
Yes?
character know about this boar or any information about it?
Make a nature check.
13.
13. You are confident that you know that there are boars within the Sorota Forest. You know that the mention of the blue boar, though you don't know a whole lot specifically about it, but you do know that occasionally, because the Sorota Forest is prone to fluctuations of ambient magic, and there is likely to be creatures bearing odd mutations or unique sort of signatures, if you will. And it does not surprise you that perhaps there would be such a creature in the forest.
Okay.
Well, very good.
Sorry. I would turn to the wife and I'd be like, I love your dress. I saw in many of my travels beautiful, exquisite, gorgeous dresses like that one.
Make a diplomacy check.
All right. Uh, 12 plus 7.
12 plus 7. You can see that her scowl sort of softens just a little bit, and she looks down at you and she says, she looks first at you and then at her husband, and she's like, are you certain that they're going to be able to keep my Sandy safe? This is, I mean, she's just so adorable. How could she possibly keep him safe out there in the dangerous woods? And, you know, he's trying to think, I'm certain that they're licensed heroes. I'm certain that she has quite a few abilities that is more than meets the eye, my dear. You just calm down. Our son is going to be fine.
I also have many tricks up my sleeves.
She looks down at you, and it looks like she's about to say something else when at this point, one of the pages for the house enters and comes over, and you hear a whispered conversation about perhaps checking on a shipment of wine that may have been labeled incorrectly. And at this point, Lady Ovisario just sort of like throws up her hand. She's like, fine, I'll go and deal with it myself. And she leaves, leaving you alone with the Lord, who sort of looks at all of you and, you know, throws up his hands and sort of rolls his eyes. He's like, look, Lady Ovisario wanted to send our elite house guard with the boy, but I insisted on hiring you because I know you can be discreet. My son, quite frankly, is adult. I don't expect him to be able to take down a newborn lamb, let alone the great blue boar, but tradition is tradition. He must land the killing blow, and I have prepared this for you to ensure that the task is none too difficult. At this point, Lord Ovisario holds out a vial in his hands. You'll need to take this, do it quietly, step away from the boy when you've located the boar. Say you're scouting its lair or something. I don't care. That's on you to decide. But if you can slip this into some bait for the beast, there's a toxin that will make for an easy kill. The boy can't know you've done this. No one can, or the hunt will be declared invalid. And if you think I'm paying for a failed hunt, then you're in for a shock, I think. Unless there's anything else that you need to know, I have preparations to make for the gods' forsaken feast we're to have. You are, of course, free to stay in the camp until dawn. Feel free to go, and my one of the pages can direct you to my son's tent if you'd like to introduce yourself to the boy before you head out. But otherwise, I will bid you good day.
What happens if he does not kill this bull?
That cannot happen. That would be an unsuccessful hunt. And as I've been quite clear about, I will simply not pay for an unsuccessful hunt, my friend.
Oh, he'll land the killing blow. Don't worry about it.
See to it that he does.
You've made the
you'll earn
contract
your pay.
with HEI, and you will pay regardless of the outcome.
I think you'll find the contract has very careful stipulations, my friend.
Yes.
I know my business. Do you know yours?
Yes, we do. We will go and meet with him, and we will do everything in our power to make sure that he is successful.
We'll see to it that you do. And with it, he begins sort of like he moves over. There's a very large table with a whole bunch of papers piled on top of it, and he sort of makes a show of sitting down and digging into these papers, clearly having dismissed you from his present needs.
So you're saying you don't need us anymore? Huh?
As I've mentioned, I have a lot of important work to do.
Yes.
You're free to roam the camp, simply don't get in anybody's way. And if you would like to meet my son, to know who it is you'll be traveling with the following day, someone can show you to his tent.
Appreciate it.
I curtsy to the man. I say, thank you.
Walk outside.
Okay, you go outside. There are lots of people still running to and fro. What do you guys want to do?
Can I make a knowledge, or am I able to do what would be a society check? Any other information that we might have heard about this family?
Sure, yeah, make a society check. That's precisely what you can do.
Nice. I don't have society.
That's gonna be a 9.
A 9er.
9.
That is, I mean, you're familiar with the name. You know they're one of the older noble families, but you don't know a whole lot else about them.
May I also make a society check? Sorry, I didn't get that in before.
You may also make a society check.
That's a 19.
Nice.
19. You are a little more well-versed in the family. You know that they make their trade, they make their money primarily in lumber that is harvested from the Sirota forest. They don't technically own the Sirota forest. That belongs to the queen, but they do have extensive rights to the resources within the forest that they procure in the queen's name and have made themselves quite a bit of money having done so. You're familiar with their son. His name is Sandoval Ovisario, though obviously his mother calls him Sandy for short. You know that he has not had a very public presence. There are some whispers that perhaps the family sort of intentionally keeps him out of the public eye. Other than that, you don't really know much about the boy. Other than, of course, obviously, I mean, you know that, he's almost 15. Other than that, the family has managed to stay relatively free of scandal and is generally considered one of the more respectable old noble families. They're certainly not beloved by the city, but most people just don't even pay attention to them. They're generally an incredibly boring establishment in the city.
All right.
Jim, approximately how long is the trip from where we are to where we're going in the morning?
Make a nature check.
I'm good at that.
Me too.
19.
19. So you know that getting to the Sirota forest, you can see the edge of the Sirota forest from where you are. It won't be very long to get into the forest. Now, tracking down the boar is a totally different matter. How deep you'll have to go probably vary, because there have been no widespread reports of a blue boar. So it is very likely that the only reason that the family knows about it is because they have workers who sometimes go in and out and people surveying the land. So it could be relatively deep into the forest. But you also know that the Lord Ovisario mentioned that you have 1 day to complete the hunt. So you would guess that it's, at least somewhere you can get in and out within a single day.
Sweet.
Based on what you know, it is very likely that you will have to cross over one of the inlets to Lake Cavalas, which is a huge lake that provides most of the water for the city. That's about it.
Awesome.
Fanry definitely wants to meet this kid.
Yeah.
If
okay.
we're gonna be
We should
Trying
meet the boy.
help him.
Should find him.
Sure, you sort of flag down one of the pages who are just running around like crazy trying to prepare for this feast. And they, without a second thought, they immediately take you over to another rather lavish tent. And inside, you see a boy. He turns out to be a rather thin, gangly young man who looks quite typical for your awkward 14-year-old boy. He is currently trying to string a beautiful, polished bow that is etched with elaborate images of wildlife, and you wouldn't be surprised at all if this weapon were enchanted to boot. When he sees you, he smiles brightly and holds up the bow. It's a birthday gift from my parents. They say I'm going to be a great hunter, and you are going to be my men-at-arms. Well, I mean, the women-at-arms too, of course. I hear that the Rota forest is full of danger, and that some of you may even be eaten by trolls. Have you ever fought a troll before? I bet I could put an arrow right through a troll's eye before it even knew I was there. And when he says this, he gets the bow strung, and then he grabs an arrow from a quiver that's near his like bed and draws the bow back, and he's like pointing it out. He's like, I bet I could shoot a troll's eye from 100 feet away. And he's just like, and you can see his arms starting to shake as he's just like wildly pointing this bow around. What do you do?
Does he? If, the moment he points it in a direction of any of us,
Yeah.
I want to let a dagger fly at the arrow.
Okay.
Snap the arrow out of the bow.
Make a very important attack roll.
Yeah.
This is an incredibly important roll that will decide a lot of whether I have to throw out everything
Man, it was
that I've
great
already
playing
written
with you
for
guys.
today.
This is why they call me Oopsie.
Do you have any edges? Or
I do.
no.
I have, it looks like 2 edges.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'm going
right.
to use them.
Oh no.
Using them both.
Please use
on
your
here.
edges.
On that note, Crossbones AE did donate some money for 2 mercies and an edge to Rias. And Java Man 1964 donated for an edge and sinks for everyone, even Jim Jam.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I didn't need the edges, Jim, because that's a natural 20 on the
Oh,
die.
20 on the
Goodness.
die.
Pretty slick.
So he's standing there just like this arrow's just all over the place, obviously creating incredible liability for all of you. And before any of you can react, this dagger goes flicking out from Oopsie's outstretched hands and knocks into the arrow, actually severs the arrow, which falls in 2 pieces to the ground. And Sandy looks at that and he's like,
Keep it down range, boy.
and he's just absolutely shocked.
I'll walk
He
over.
sort of like lets the bowstring
Sorry.
come back. He puts the bow down by his bed. He's just dead silent. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna walk
Hi.
over. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Oh no, you talk first. Go.
That's okay. I was just gonna walk over and like be like engaged with like his bow. Like it's gorgeous, and I'm just like ooh, when I'm making all these little like oh while you guys talk to him.
I was gonna say, while she's looking at that, Jim Jam, can I cast Read Aura on the bow?
You can.
Focus target object, opening my mind to perceive magical auras. When the casting is complete, you know whether the item is magical, and if it is, you learn the school of magic.
Oh.
This is indeed a magical bow. And I think it's a universal magic. I don't think it has a specific school. I'll just tell you right now, I'll just tell you what the thing is. You see that there is a rune etched into the bow, and you recognize it with your spell. You can read the aura and you determine that it is a rune of striking. So this is a bow of striking. Pretty powerful weapon, especially for a kid to be holding.
Good thing we didn't get shot with that thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Seems like they don't really trust him to actually make the killing blow without help.
Yeah.
Kanshaka walks over to the kid and says, "Hi, my name's Kanshaka. I'm from the Shaka Khan. You're gonna kill a boar tomorrow. You excited? You excited? You excited? The first kill is always the most important."
He's like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Why don't you make a perception check?
That's not the check I should be making. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
It's actually not. Yeah, it's not listed
actually,
on your
this is the check I should be making.
Yeah, you should be good at that. You have a good high wisdom.
That is an 18.
When you say, you're going to make your first kill and it's going to be awesome and it's it's so important. And he's like, yeah, but you can kind of see maybe a little doubt in his eyes, and you're not sure if he's still a little bit shocked from Oopsie's incredible arrow-destroying throw, or whether he's a little unsure of himself, or whether he's unsure about the idea of killing this boar. But there's something in him that's just, just get the sense that he's not really telling you the truth when he's like, yeah, sure, I'm super excited.
Khan puts his hand on the boy's shoulder and kind of gets low, trying to get level with the kid. It's like, I know the first one is really nervous, man, but you just got to believe in yourself. Although that bow and arrow is pretty strong, just make sure that next time you pull it, you point at the things you want to kill, right? Not us, but the boar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? You got this. You're going to be a little man tomorrow, right? Yeah, say you're going to be a little man.
Gonna be a little man.
Yeah, you are.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Go, Prince Dude. Yeah. Cheers loudly. Prince Dude.
He seems to relax a little now that the atmosphere has changed. Obviously he was a little shocked at first, but now with Pipa and you, he seems to be a little bit more at ease. Doesn't seem to at all be concerned with the eclectic nature of the group. Lizard folk are actually known to live in the area around Lake Cavalos, so there's a lot of the people of Cavalosha have a lot of dealing with lizard folk. Leshy are certainly a little less common, but at the same time, this is a city, a pretty major city, so a lot of different types come through.
Jim.
Yes.
Sarah BC1 has struck.
Oh no!
Wild magic.
Oh,
And it looks
comes.
like it's your choice.
Ooh,
Well, I'll tell you what,
damn.
a lot of these are very general. So why don't you go ahead, Jamie, since you were the one who noticed and read about that donation, why don't you roll me a D10?
Make it count.
Ruh-roh.
I will. I'll just drop it on the floor and then use my
Wild
own D10.
magic on the kid.
That is a 10.
A 10. This is a good one. This will last for the rest of the night.
Oh,
no.
This one is called Barbarian's Legacy.
Oh.
From now until the end of the night, every natural 2 on any check at all, even if it would not otherwise be eligible to be critical or not, is an automatic critical failure, regardless of the results. However, any totaled result of 23 on any check is a critical success and gives you a +1 bonus to your next future D20 roll until you use it. So
what is this insanity?
That is Barbarian's Legacy.
Whoa.
That was a lot of information.
The best
So
is
a
that
2
Eric
is
didn't
an
get.
auto crit fail.
True fail.
2
Is
fails.
that blanket?
And
Jim,
23
or-
is a
That is
crit.
blanket for everybody.
Okay.
What about
Auto-
20 and 1? Does that still stay the same? Or this all changes now?
Yeah, 20 and 1, that does not change
Okay.
this adds to your
Got
normal
it.
rules. So
Okay.
now you crit fail on a 1 or a 2,
Okay.
but you get an automatic critical success if your total roll is 23, and it gives you an additional +1 to your next roll after that.
This
Okay.
is amazing.
Okay, +1 to the next roll. Okay, that's fun. Thank you, Sarah.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Sarah.
That's amazing. Oh, my goodness. ...
I'm gonna die.
You know, we have a moment, and it's about that time. Why don't we go ahead and take another break to chat with the fans?
Okay.
Fan
Now
chat.
that we've got this wild magic on the field.
What it is?
Because Penguin
fans?
Witch Doctor is curious, can level 1s even hit a 23? Absolutely. Yeah, you could do it. It's not that hard.
We can try.
It's relatively common.
Common.
What else do we have in the comments?
Crossbearer says now a barbarian can only have a legacy if they're dead, right?
Well,
What?
the barbarian in question, in our current timeline and canon, is in fact dead.
Try one.
That's true.
Spoilers.
Lucas Martinez was saying, yes, kill the kid. Rest of the show is them on the run.
Ah,
I would
would've been
immediately
an
just
oopsie.
crumple up all of my notes and
Oh my
start
God.
fresh with a brand new adventure.
oh no.
Oh, Lucas Martinez was hoping you would make Sandy an emo kid.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I don't know.
I figured.
I like this, Sandy.
I think it's going to be just fine.
Imp in my head says that Sandy's gonna ditch us at the first chance.
Probably. Dude, that bow of his is pretty cool.
Don't
If
kill
he
the
ditches
kid.
us, we'll
Don't kill the
probably
kid
just
and
hunt
take
him
his
down
bow.
and yeah, exactly.
Mama Jim says hi, Jim.
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I was getting there. The Real Post 98 says these voices and characters are fabulous.
Hey, that's what we do here. We make fabulous characters.
I decided to go extreme.
Apparently, if these characters go more than 2 weeks, it will become Christopher Walken Goblin. Just
Oh.
His voice will change.
yeah, whatever they're paying, that's what I'm gonna do. So
We got some cheers from Duchess of Dinos, Sarah BC1, Luna Steelsong, and Crossbones.
Thank you.
And Duchess of Dinos is giving the BBBB hero point to Peepa.
I guess that's 2
Thanks,
hero
Tasha.
points for Peepa already.
Oh, there is 2?
Yeah, you've got 2 hero points.
Yeah,
Fanray
look at
has
another one.
1 hero point. That's too many hero points on the board.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
We need to get rid of some of these.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Like this other McCranky Stank said, I thought pretty much Diana was gonna say she lifts up her arms and plays the farting armpit as her instrument.
No, that's
Yes,
that's
yes.
Diana, not Peepa. Anyway, it's my harp.
Silent H, so Khan Shaka of the Shaka clan. Yes, he's Sean Khan Shaka of the Shaka clan.
It's
I
good
love
stuff,
that
man.
so much.
All right.
All right. So, Sandy has been suitably impressed by your heroism and vows to be more careful with his weapon. What do you guys do? You guys can certainly, if there's anybody else that you wanted to talk to, you are more than welcome to. Otherwise, you can sort of eat and rest and pass the day and prepare to set out into the forest at dawn to participate in Sandy's hunt.
You said this is a circus going on here, like a festival?
It is. So basically, when you guys bring the boar back, they're gonna roast it, and this is gonna be like his birthday festival will begin.
So there's no festival going on right now.
Right now, it's
just
a lot
the
of setup.
grounds. Got
This
it.
is like the day before the Renaissance Fair opens.
Okay.
remember the Renaissance Fair?
Yeah, remember when we can go out and do things like Renaissance fairs?
For public
That was
interaction.
supposed to start like this weekend too, wasn't it?
No, weekends ago.
Yeah, it was already supposed to be.
Yeah.
going on,
I know, because I was going to. Okay, anyway.
Khan's actually
Well-
gonna spend some time talking to the kid.
Sure, yeah.
Wanting to know, like, hey, dude, so what have you been up to, man? Have you been training for this? Or do you do sports? Do you like birds?
Do you like birds? Make a diplomacy check for me.
Now I'm playing outside of my class. That's diplomacy. It is a 10.
10. Well, it's not fine. It's a middling roll. It's not terrible for a Pathfinder 2e roll. So you're talking, and he sort of starts to give you, as you start asking him more sort of questions that he's used to getting from other people, you can kind of tell that he's starting to be less sort of interested and impressed with what's going on, and his answers start getting shorter and shorter, and he seems kind of like bored and fidgety. But he's like, I mean, I've been practicing with a bow. I mean, this one I just got from my parents. It's my birthday present. They gave it to me before the hunt. But, I mean, I have just regular bows, at home, and I'm okay at it. I guess, at least, my instructor was telling me that I was good at it, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard sometimes. And birds, I mean, I don't know. Birds are okay, I guess. But I don't know a lot about them, really.
Do I know what's better than birds? Bears. Have you seen a bear?
Do you think we're going to fight a bear out in the forest? Do you think that we'll have to? Because I don't know. I heard that sometimes there are bears in the forest. And there's this one guy that I knew who used to be one of my dad's men, and he had half his face eaten by a bear. And I don't want that to happen.
So it's totally possible that we might see a bear. That'd be totally awesome if we do, because I like bears. They're really cool. The whole thing is that sometimes you stumble into someone's house. Have you ever like walked in someone's house and they're like, "Totally, what are you doing in my house, man?" That's what happens when people get attacked by bears. People walked into a bear house and they start protecting their stuff. But as long as you know to not go into people's houses, they will not mess with you. Just stay far away. Stay on the fence, dude. Just stay on the fence.
This is the point where you can start to tell like, you've kind of lost him. He's just looking at you like, walking in people's houses. He's like, you can just sort of tell. And people give like in dealing with people, you get so excited about your messages from nature, and people sometimes they just don't get it, and you can tell that this kid's just not quite getting it. But I doubt that's much of a deterrent.
No, what I'll do is I'll take a leaf and use kind of like prestidigitation to make like an origami bear and just kind of give it to the kid. Happy birthday, dude. See you tomorrow.
Like, whoa, magic too? This is awesome.
You can do many things in the woods, dude. Yeah.
I look at Con and I go, I hope you didn't pluck that from me, because that would be so rude.
No, little lady, I'd never pluck anything directly from nature without asking first. By the way, can I have a leaf?
Okay. And then I just reach down and I go, ow, there you go.
You take 10 points of damage and
No.
I put it back in my satchel to replace the leaf I used.
All right.
Go out to have fun in the festival because I don't know.
Cool.
Are we staying here tonight, or are we going back?
It's been offered they will set aside one of the tents. A lot of the tents, you can tell that like this festival and it's what was it, Jamie? How do you say your character's name?
Fanray.
Fanray would know and be able to tell you that like sometimes these, especially these bigger festivals where there's like a major sort of milestone festivals, if you're rich enough, you'll have like a 3-day party for your birthday. So there's lots of like bed space. The tents are designed to be here for a couple of days, and some of that is set aside for you since you are working for the family currently. You're fed and you're given basically run of the place as long as you're not interfering with the work and sort of getting underfoot. Everybody's super chill with you.
Is there an archery range or
yeah, actually there is. There's sort of a space set aside for like for games of skill, and one of the things is there's a small archery range that's been set up.
I'd like to approach Sandy.
Okay.
Before we go out tomorrow, I'd like to see what you got on the range, and maybe with the sword.
Ooh.
Well, all right.
Maybe we can make you better.
Well, all right. I mean, that's kind of cool. I'll get trained by heroes. I like that. Oh, okay. So he grabs his bow and some arrows, and you can tell he's being like super careful the way he holds them now around you. But then he follows you out to the range. Takes aim with his first shot and fires. And it's not the worst thing you've ever seen, but he misses the entire target at 30 from 30 feet away. Like he misses the target entirely, but he's close at least. You can tell he's clearly had at least rudimentary instruction, but probably not that much. If he's trying to hit a moving target, he is going to need some work.
I wanna get down. Like, I guess I stand on my toes because I'm a small guy.
Get down on his level.
All right, I want to see it again. Think about this shot, not that last shot. That last shot's gone. Focus on the now.
Right.
While I'm talking to him, Jim, I'm just going to reach out a couple of my fingers because I'm just kind of watching. I'm going to cast guidance on him.
Guidance, okay. Can you remind me in Pathfinder 2nd Edition exactly, is that just a +1?
+1 to attack roll, perception check, saving throw, or skill check.
Gotcha, all right. So he takes aim and fires, now with guidance, and this is a much, much better shot. And it's not a bullseye by any means, but he gets it clean into the target. It's much, much better this time.
Well done. Just remember to keep that front arm sturdy.
Well, thanks.
Fanray wants to find somebody in the encampment, like a valet or a servant that looks like they are working near or around Sandy's tent and probably are working for him in some way.
Okay, sure.
To talk to.
Make a society check. See if you can identify somebody who's probably somebody in the house who would be more directly involved with him.
13.
13, you said?
Yes.
Okay. You basically aren't noticing anybody, or you don't know of anybody specifically like that. So you just go to the person who showed you where Sandy's tent was. And what do you do? What do you say? What do you want?
Well, I was just wondering if you could give me a little more information on the boy, his strengths and weaknesses, because if we are going to be protecting him and helping him, we want all the information we can get.
Make a diplomacy check for me. You can use deception if that's better for you.
That's a 10.
10. She kind of looks around and she's like, oh, he's Little Lord Ovasario. He's great and wonderful, and I'm sure that you'll have a successful hunt.
The Little Lord. I know what that means. The Little Lord, he's pampered and taken care of at all times, and, you that help him would know him best. If there's anything we need to know, now would be the time to tell us.
Make a perception check.
24.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, you can kind of tell that she's really not sure how she's supposed to answer this question. And you can tell she might be a little uncomfortable speaking freely because she doesn't know you, and she knows you're working for the Lord and Lady, and you can just get this vibe that she's like, this sounds an awful lot like a trap that's going to get me in a lot of trouble. And she doesn't seem to want to be very forthcoming currently with you, unless you have some other way to gain her trust.
Jamie, did you go far off, or are you near all of us in the archery? Or where is this taking place?
She would have had to go out, and because she went and sought out this person. So
okay, never mind. Then you're by yourself. Okay.
I would take this woman, I'd open my arm to her and kind of slowly take her by the shoulders and be like, look, I understand how this works. You feel like you don't know me, and there's no reason to give me any information. And I'll actually pull a gold piece out of my coin purse and hold it up for her and say, now, if there's anything we need to know, and I'll flip it through my fingers a couple of times, if there's anything we need to know that you might be able to tell us, there might be a reason for you to give us that information.
Go ahead and make one more either deception or diplomacy check, but now that you're offering a bribe, give yourself a +4 bonus to that.
Ooh.
Nice. Don't crack it.
Okay, 26.
26.
Nice.
She's sort of watching this coin flip back and forth between your fingers. She's like, well, look, I mean, the boy's nice. It's not like he's fine, but I mean, honestly, I think it's good that they're sending out professionals with him, because I don't think he'd be doing very well on a hunt on his own by any stretch of the imagination. His mother, she's always so worried about everything, never lets any harm come to him, never lets him take any risks, always, all over everything. And of course he's been coddled his whole life. And honestly, I don't even think he wants to do this. I think he's just sort of really hoping that perhaps A, his mother will start to see him as more than a child, and B, his father might actually show a little bit of interest in him if he's successful. He's really just kind of doing it for them, but I don't think he really cares about this.
Now, one more question. Are there any... I know the boy has a very special bow that he's going to be using for the hunt. Does he have special arrows of any type?
Not that I'm aware of.
Interesting. All right, thank you very much. And I wish you the best. And she'll flip the coin, the gold piece, the gold scale to this woman.
All right. The coin just snatches it out of the air. It disappears almost instantaneously. And Peepa, is there anything you wanted to be doing while everybody else was sort of doing their thing for the day?
I'm just kind of just standing there like, ooh, like every single time he would shoot and just get excited and just kind of wait.
Sure. All right. Over the course of, maybe an hour, he's shooting and he's okay. Again, when he's shooting a stationary target from about 30 feet away, he seems to be doing okay. Anytime you try to move him back any further, his aim starts to get just wishy-washy. And he starts, he's complaining, oh, my arm's just really tired. And he's having a lot of trouble actually drawing the bow string all the way back. And you can tell that like he's had about as much as he can take for the day, which doesn't give you a whole lot of confidence in his ability to complete a full day hunt in the morning, considering all of the other complications that could arise. But, he's a 14-year-old boy. And you're professionals. You realize that you may have to do a lot of the heavy lifting here.
I think it's time for you to stop doing archery. Maybe we should go find some food.
Oh, that sounds great. And he just sort of like his arms drop to the side and he can like barely hold his bow as he goes walking off looking for food with you guys. Everybody who was with him can make a perception check.
I was not.
I cracked it.
That's good though, right? Oh no, that's really bad.
No, cracked it is an automatic failure.
The lower crag.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I mean, I wasn't technically
crag.
with him. I was standing away. I would probably just watch them just kind of go.
Okay.
I'm just kind of keeping my eye, just watching people.
13. Pippa.
I did not roll well.
What did you say you got?
13.
13. Okay. One thing that you happen to notice is that every time Sandy misses or has a really bad shot, you can kind of tell that it bothers him, and you really get the impression that a lot of his problem is he doesn't seem to have a lot of confidence in his abilities to do much of anything. He's really excited at first, but the longer this goes on and the more tired he gets, and every time he makes a mistake or something, he seems to get really beat up about it. But it's just, it's something you notice as time goes on. And he seems, by the time it's over, he's like eager to quit. He's like excited to just go do something else because he's tired and he's not feeling so great about himself. You guys go. The food is great. Even pre-feast, the Ovasarios have excellent food. Wine and ale waiting for you if you choose. But I don't know, unless there's anything else that you wanted to do. Sandy sort of turns in early to his tent, so that he can be ready, because you guys know that you're supposed to leave at dawn, as is tradition. You must leave at dawn into the Sarota forest.
Do we have until night, or we have a full?
You have the full.
Cycle.
So, rolling over because with Fanray's earlier society check, you would know that the hunt technically lasts a full 24 hours. So by dawn the following day, you would have to be back in the camp you would bring the boar back by the following morning.
Okay.
Kanshaka is either dancing or drinking and eating heavily. For there's nothing else to do until.
Certainly draws a lot of attention.
A lot of random roars for no good reason.
And people are, there's some people, you guys can start to hear whispers like wondering if perhaps he's some kind of performer who's been hired for the festival or what. People really aren't sure exactly how to deal with Kanshaka. The Kanshaka doesn't care. He's just doing his thing. He's living his best life.
I feel like Fanray sits to the side, drinking and eating as well. But every time somebody looks confused, thinking that Khan is a performer, she begins the applause. It's like, absolutely, this is the performer for the party. Yes, we should applaud. Yes.
Too many people have heard about bears. Clearly.
I would probably be sitting next to Finneray and just look at her and be like, seems like he's more excited about tomorrow than the young prince is, the young lord.
Yes, apparently he's not excited at all. All he really wants is for his father to show affection, his mother to leave him alone.
Typical teenagers.
All I care about is getting this over with and getting paid.
Oh, I agree with you on that one. I was watching him, though, shooting that bow and arrow, and he was just not the best. We may have to fudge it a little bit to help him.
Oh, don't worry. I've already thought about it. He doesn't use any specific arrows, so any shot with an arrow could be his shot.
That's accurate. We can help him any way we must.
I can also help too.
Wait, where did you come from?
I just pop up and then hi.
She sprouts out of the stump that you're sitting on.
I have many tricks up my sleeves. I can help.
Well, I'm sure he will need all of it.
Khan would join the rest of the group.
Okay.
Hi, what's up, dudes? How y'all doing?
How is your partying going?
Oh, I'm having a great time. It's not very often that you get to party with the metal users, man.
Glad you're having fun.
Having a blast, dude. It's gonna be a long day as the young man learns to kill his first animal.
It is.
Yeah, he's gonna fail. But it'll be fine, because we'll make sure he feels awesome when he does. Right?
I walk up.
Absolutely.
I walk up from where I was hiding. The rest of the group reach into my.
Where did you come from?
My belt, and I hand everyone a whole pickle. Pickle for you. Pickle for you. And I got a pickle for me.
What kind of pickles are these?
These are sweet pickles.
Sweet pickles?
No, the worst kind.
Yes, I know, I agree.
No, what do you mean? And he just reaches up and just...
It's all I could find.
Chews on it with just pickle juice dripping out of his mouth.
I wanted bread and butter. Didn't have them.
Those are the worst too.
Delicious.
Mm.
If you don't want your pickle, I'll eat it.
Khan's drawing on his pickle. Hey, I'm Pickle Khan. Pickle Khan.
Pickle Khan.
I lost my accent. Sorry. Give me a second. I think we should help him nope, gone again. Whatever. We should help him as much as we can, but he needs to do it himself. Now I'm a Southern gentleman.
He definitely should do it himself, and that's what he is going to believe. If that is in fact what happens, that's an entirely other story.
We could just stand there and watch. Only help him win. You
don't understand. Most of his issues are coming, and this is very insightful for Billy D. Goblin. His issues come from within. He needs some self-confidence, so we should give him at least a chance to do it on his own before we use the magical nonsense that the father gave us.
Oh no, bro, we're definitely not using the poison. That is not nature's way, man. No.
Wait, who has that poison? You have it good. Even it's safe.
I think he could use a boost of confidence. I got it.
I can give him a boost of courage.
He'll definitely need that as well.
Okay.
Can I roll the pet Piper?
Excuse me? It's Peepa.
Peepa, can I
There's
roll
a P in there.
You better roll first.
Don't roll a 2.
Roll a 2, I'm gonna bite you. What'd you roll?
A 2.
Oh no!
So she's looking all cute and like she's like inspire courage too. And then all of a sudden his hand reaches out and I just like these jaws out of nowhere come out and just go, ah!
Ah! Huh?
Don't mess with me.
I just scratches his head. Plant. Fly trap. Got it.
Plants
Got it,
can
bruh.
have a bite.
You're scary but cute. I like you.
Oh, thanks. Next time you should ask for permission to pet me.
Sorry, most plants don't actually like say yes or no. I mean, that, that sentence. But, you know, sorry. I haven't seen you, man. Like, I've seen elves and stuff. But they're clearly not plants, bro. Like, you're literally a walking vase, man. I don't know what to... Anyway, you're so adorable, man. I'm sorry.
I just eat another pickle. Watching this
I think you
happen.
need to lay off the drink a little bit, my friend.
Oh, man. You made me need a drink, my friend, because we have to get up and wherever the sun is.
Probably not up. Yes, we should get some rest before we go on this adventure.
I agree.
I second that.
So-
Can someone help me find a pot so I can sleep in because it's more comfortable that way.
Okay, guys. Literally a plant talking, bro. It just walks off. It's literally tell everybody. It's so adorable.
I go see if I can find a bucket or something for her.
Find a bucket, fill it with dirt. You each find your respective
Dirt
tents
in my claws.
and get some rest because you know that you have an early morning ahead of you. And indeed, when you wake up the next morning at dawn, it is crisp and gray with a light fog seeping out of the woods. Sandy seems overjoyed at this and looks on in awe. It's just like in the stories. Lady Ovisario is trying vainly to adjust his armor, which you can see he's got some very finely made studded leather, and she's brushing errant strands of his hair. And she's like, did you bring your extra healing potions? Do you have any extra clothes? What about some extra socks? Do you have enough food in your pack? What about your helmet? Where is your helmet? And she's looking around, like trying to find some, where is this boy's helmet? And eventually, Lord Ovisario gently pulls her away from the boy and bids you all a good hunt. From there, the 6 of you now make your way into the forest, and Sandoval leaps to the front of the group. I will find the blue boar before lunchtime, he declares, and then everybody's going to be so impressed. I bet Madeline Drusot won't even want to go to the Midsummer Waltz with Archaea Ludwin anymore when she hears about my great battle with the beast. And he's got his bow out again, and he fires a wild shot into an arrow, or into a nearby tree, and the wood sort of splinters, and the trunk almost like bows out from the force of the arrow as it drives deep into the wood. And he's like, did you see that? This thing is so amazing. I bet the greatest heroes in the world would be jealous of my bow. It should have a name, don't you think? I think so. Well, what are we gonna call the bow? What's its name? And he like points at you, Fenrir. He's like, what's the bow's name? What's a cool name for a bow? You probably know lots of cool names.
Yes, I think your bow, before you name your bow, you have to see it in action. That's usually how great weapons get their names.
Fine. Start moving on a little further away. You can see that he's like calmed down a little bit. He's like kind of looking back at you guys, and he just doesn't really know what to make of all this. He's not used to people like challenging things that he says. It's very clear. And a little further along the trail, you come to a very tall stone, and you can't decide if it's a natural formation or not. It's maybe 15 feet high and unusually slender, but it has a very rough surface and clearly wasn't carved. Sandoval is looking it up and down, and he's smiling widely. He's like, whoa, I bet this is some kind of secret. We should investigate. I bet there's a clue that's going to lead us to a lost treasure or something. And he's like looking around. What do you guys do? Do you want to convince him to move on, or do you want to investigate?
You said the large rock?
Yeah, there's like this huge, it's almost like a column of rock that's rising up out of the ground.
I'll humor him and do like check nature, see if this is natural or.
Sure, make a nature
like-
check.
14?
14. You actually happen to know that this is indeed a stone that it was not carved, but it was put here unnaturally. There was an ancient druid, an ancient human druid who watched over the Sorota forest before Cavalocia was even founded, by the name of Cyrus Kane. And this is a menhir left over from his reign over this forested area.
I will, and I know that has nothing to do with where the pig is, correct?
No, this is
Okay.
like an old
So,
marker.
I will relay all that information to Sandy, kind of like teaching him stuff about nature and
Sure.
stuff like that. But, little dude, unfortunately, this has nothing to do with where we're going. It's a cool marker that will help you guide yourself back home, right? But we have to keep going this way.
One thing that you do happen to know is that often, if you can, at the top of the stone, there are sometimes ancient carvings or things that Cyrus Kane would mark in the very tops. The tops are actually flat, very difficult to tell from the ground level. But if you were to climb up and look at it, you could see if there was anything there. So you know that they're not always that easy to climb.
I will pass again. Read aura on the stone.
Okay, it is not magical. There are no magical auras about it.
Not magical stone, but Jim. Is it sexy stone?
It's
There it is.
there may be some people who would suggest that it was a little sexy.
Good.
Being,
Does Khan say anything about the marking at the top?
I will say, like, sometimes there is some cool stuff at the top of these rocks that could do really magical, weird druid stuff, man.
Does anyone want to lift to get on top to look? How about young us?
I would gladly go up there.
All right. I put up my clawed hands. Do you want a boost?
Sure.
And
And with his help, Fenray will attempt to climb the stone.
Make an athletics check.
am I aiding her in that? Helping her with balance?
You can make a check to aid. It's a DC 20 athletics check to try to aid her.
Oh,
Ooh.
good. Because
Jesus.
I've got athletics.
I'm gonna use an edge.
Not trained, but it's a 15 on the die, Jim. We'll just at least lift my hands, right?
Aiding is more difficult in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. That's one of the things that they just decided would be difficult this time. But what are we looking at?
16.
16, that's going to do it. That's actually going to get you up to the top. You're lucky that the stone itself is really rough and provides a lot of good handholds. So you get up to the very top, and you can indeed see that there are a number of carvings at the top. It's actually quite interesting as you're looking at them how clear they are, and they're not really worn at all, because the rest of the stone looks very pitted and worn, like it looks very ancient. But these carvings, like the top is perfectly flat and smooth, and despite the fact that it's been exposed to weather for who knows how long, it's as if it were carved yesterday. Make a survival check if you've got, survival.
Yes.
Go ahead.
With an edge. Before that landed. 16 again.
16. As you're looking at these, you realize that it is something of a star chart. And as you're looking at it, you realize that you could actually, like, looking at it, you could navigate. There's a certain marking on it that looks, if this is something of a star chart, you could actually use it as a navigation tool. And it looks like if you followed it, and you, with your survival check, like, you could follow it, and actually, I don't know, there's some space marked here.
Can I take out a piece of parchment and, like, the charcoal I have?
Yeah, absolutely.
And make an whatever etching of it, and I'll climb back down and show it to specifically Khan and Sandy, and be like, well, if you're interested, here is a star chart. Maybe for next time you come out here.
You can see that when you're saying that, Sandy is like standing nearby, like shaking, like, wait, what? Wait, we're not gonna go now? Like we're not gonna go?
I will follow your direction, sir. I don't ever want to be more than 15 feet from him.
Okay, sure.
Young dude, this is actually pretty dope for me myself. But here's the thing. You've just become an adventurer. Complete one mission, and there'll be others, right?
He's like, well, okay, if that's what you think is best, I guess.
You know what we could do is we could first find the boar, and then afterwards, maybe after the celebration, we could follow the star chart. Yep.
Well, okay, that's what you guys think is best. I guess we'll keep going.
It's like a reward from nature.
Khan will look at that star chart to see what it's charting.
Sure, go ahead and make a nature check. Or survival, sorry.
Same number.
Oh, good.
23.
23. Difficult to
23!
23!
Michael Jordan!
Oh,
Michael Jordan!
that is not only a critical success, but that gives you a +1 to your next D20 roll automatically.
Nice.
Wow,
I know
magic
everything
in the
about
works.
this star chart.
You do. You know that this is this map. If you were to, you could easily follow it. Like you know exactly where it would go. The space that it's indicating would be maybe 3 miles off your course. It would certainly be a detour, so you know that like it would. But it wouldn't be such a detour that it would be impossible. It would put you behind on time, but it wouldn't be impossible if you could make up for it with some successes in the rest of your day. You know that you wouldn't be completely off course.
I will whisper this information to Fanray, as they look as if the most intelligent person in the group. No offense. But he's like, technically, it's not that far away, man. I mean, 3 miles off course.
Maybe it would good for him to have some kind of experience in the real world before we find this boar. It might be nice to take this detour. What do you say, Sandy? Would you like to go?
He seems like super unsure now that you're sort of asking him to make the decision. He's like, I don't know. I don't. I mean, what do you? He seems like he's like he just can't like fathom the idea of like being in charge all of a sudden.
Oh, I think I agree with him. You would definitely benefit from something such as this. And besides, you were very excited about it anyway.
Make a diplomacy check.
Hi!
I'm not training it, but I got a nat 20 on the die.
Hey-o. So when you are talking to him, he sort of stops stammering for a moment, and he seems to sort of gather himself up, and he says, "Okay, no, you're right. This is my hunt, and I think we should go. I know that we'll miss out on some time, but we can do this, and I've decided we'll go. We'll follow the chart." He seems much more confident now after hearing from you.
Yes, he shows that you're already becoming a great leader.
And you set off following the chart. It does indeed take you quite a bit. I mean, you have to go through you have to leave the trails behind a little bit, and it does take you a little bit off course. So you can tell you've definitely missed some time on this. However, once you get to the sort of end of this chart, and you find what it is that you're looking for, it turns out to be a plant. Anybody who wants to can make a nature check when you're looking at this weird. Like, it's this squat bush, and it's covered in these very heavy, round, purple fruits.
18.
13.
Okay. Peepa, you happen to know that these are Riscaba fruits. Riscaba fruits are incredibly rare, virtually unheard of. Some people have even speculated that they might be completely extinct in the area.
Oh.
You know that these fruits were overpicked and over-harvested because they have remarkable magical properties. Eating a fresh Riscaba fruit within 3 days of having picked it will heal you for 2d6 hit points and give you a +1 bonus to all skill checks, ability checks, and attack rolls for 1 minute after eating.
Ooh. So I would say all of this, and then I would say, but we must ask permission if we can pick the fruits because someone, Khan, didn't ask permission from me. So I would lean down and talk in my plant language and ask if, excuse me, is it okay if I pick your fruits? I'm on an amazing adventure with my friends here, and I just want to make sure it's okay with you if we can take 6 of your fruit.
So as you're like talking to the bush, Sandy is looking around at all of you and he's like, wait a second, these things, I heard about these. I never thought I'd actually see them. We should mark this down and tell my father about this. This is worth thousands of scales. I'm sure we can cut you in on it. We can take the whole plant. Like, this is amazing. You guys, we're going to be rich here. Well, more rich. I'm already rich, but you guys will also be, well, you'll probably get some money for this. What do you say? We're going to take the whole thing, right?
Do I hear this, Jim?
Yeah, you can hear him talking. Like, he's like super excited.
I turn around and I get angry and my teeth start to show. I go, no, they're almost extinct. You will not take them. So,
make an intimidate check.
Okay. 16 plus 4.
Oh, dang. Yeah, he's looking at you. He's like, wait, well, I'm sorry. I just thought, I mean, these things are really, I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Okay. What do we do then?
Well, I'm waiting for my answer, and then I'll tell you what we can do.
The bush, and I don't know that. Can you just talk to? Is that a thing that you can do? Is talk to plants, or did you flavor that?
Okay,
I just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if there's an actual mechanic for talking to plants. I was like, I'm not sure.
There is a spell.
I know there's a spell that allows you to talk to plants.
Say yes, Diana, you can do it whenever you want.
Okay. You don't get it really like a verbal answer from the plants, but you have a deep connection to the plants. Why don't you make a nature check for me?
Okay. 19 on die plus 4, 23.
Dang,
Michael Jordan!
That is a critical success, and you get a +1 bonus to your next D20 roll.
Nice.
Great, thank you.
And that means you actually do very clearly sort of hear the feelings of the plant. You know that the plant is almost terrified from having heard Sandy's speech about harvesting the plant and exploiting it. But then when you speak to it and you're more reassuring, it reluctantly agrees that you can take 1 fruit if you'll agree to keep it secret.
Okay. So I say, of course I will. And I hope you thrive and I hope you overpopulate because you're almost gone. And that's really sad. So then I grab the fruit, and then I bow, and I curtsy, and I go, we can only take 1, so we shall use it in desperate measures. I will hold on to it. And I put it in my little, petal purse.
Your little petal purse. You have a Riscaba fruit. I'll actually go ahead in our Zoom call chat. I'll put what that does.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is. Jim.
Yes.
I know my character can't do this, but it's still going to try to stealthily take one of the fruits.
Okay.
Bug is infuriated, Jim.
Sorry, at first I whispered that to Kanshaka when I had to tell everybody. So you'll see in the Zoom chat what the Rascaba fruit does. And so you guys all agree, like, you get the fruit. Sandy still seems pretty excited and awestruck, like he's super happy about this. And sort of, he actually tries to copy Pipa's vow to the plant. He like bows to it before you guys leave. And like, he's super respectful of the plant after hearing how passionate Pipa was about it. And as you all are starting to leave the grove and get back on track, Kanshaka, you are sort of bringing up the rear. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
People better not find out.
Yeah, I'm aware. Stealth?
Yep.
You sure you didn't mean survival?
I'm very certain.
Or nature?
You're trying to do this stealthily. You specifically wanted to steal it.
18?
Okay, that's pretty respectable. Now, Pipa, what is your perception bonus?
Perception bonus. +6.
+6. Okay. So you have beat her perception DC. So she's already like wandering off, and you managed to grab one of these fruits sort of surreptitiously, and nobody notices.
After hearing Pipa talk about this bush, Fanray makes sure to roll up that charcoal rubbing and tuck that safely in her satchel.
Maybe some profitable information to have later.
Oh, you guys.
Khan, we'll talk to the young lord and let him know. Sometimes it's better to let nature be nature, young brother. So don't worry about this one, but the boar will bring better riches than anything gold can bring. You know, man?
If you say so.
That's what I say. So let's go.
You guys get back on track after your little side trek, and it has cost you some time. It's noon before you really come upon anything else. You come to a wide ravine over which sways a rope bridge. As soon as you come within sight of the bridge, Sandoval sort of like rushes ahead to look over the edge of the ravine down into the rushing water below, and he's like, "Wait! I know all of this is going to flow into the Lake Cavalos," and he like points downstream. He's like, "Look, it's right over there. It feeds the whole lake." And then he's looking out in the water, and he goes, "Wait! I think I see something down there." And before you can respond, he rushes out about halfway across the bridge and gets down on his hands and knees, and he's looking between the planks of this rope bridge, and he's looking down, and he's like, "Wait! There's some kind of creature down there. Come over here, guys. Look at this." What do you guys do?
Staying within 15 feet of him, Jim.
All right.
Oopsie runs out, draws his glaive and runs out there.
Sure. The bridge is wide enough to accommodate two of you at a time. It's fairly sturdily built. You don't get the sense that it's like going to collapse, though it does sway quite a bit as you guys are rushing across over towards it.
Like this bridge, Jim?
Yes, it's quite a bit like that bridge. It's that very bridge. So far I know Oopsie's out there. Is anybody else staying back, or is anybody else moving forward, or just give me an idea of how everybody wants to do this?
Fanray will stand at the edge of the ravine and not actually. How far from the edge of the ravine onto the bridge is he?
I mean, he's a good 30 feet out. It's a pretty long, wide ravine and a long bridge, so he's 30 feet into the middle of it.
Is he like halfway? Okay.
Yeah, it's about halfway. So he's in the middle of the bridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay at the edge of the ravine and not get on.
Okay, sure.
The bridge yet.
Oopsie, you've gotten to him. Shaka or Khan? Khan Shaka?
Shaka. Khan Shaka from the Shaka Khan. I'm the player's kicking himself in the face for not putting rope on his page. So
you have an adventurer's pack?
Yes.
It's in there.
Oh, thank God.
I have rope too.
How would you say that I'd be able to tie a rope to something on the edge of the ravine and still get to the kid, just in case?
Yeah, if you've got 50 feet of rope, he's only 30 feet out. You wouldn't be able to complete the crossing. You would have to come back and untie the rope or cut it, but you could get to him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's worth it for me.
Sure.
Just tie it up and then go slowly over to him.
Sure. You make your way over there. Pipa?
I'm going to wait right by the front of the bridge.
waiting with Fanray and then Rias?
Yes.
I would go over to the edge and try to look down, see if I could see what he knows.
See what he's pointing. Okay, make a perception check.
Ooh.
That's a
natural 20.
That's dragons and things on the die, Jimbo.
Nice.
And that is going to give me so close to Matt Bakerfield, so 24.
Oh no. Well,
I can think myself.
Khan,
Okay.
Rias, and to be fair, if you sink yourself to get yourself to 23, it does count.
I'm gonna hold on to that.
And Oopsie, you guys, since you had moved out onto the bridge, you see this, what he's looking at down there, but you actually recognize it immediately for what it is, Rias, because you look out and you notice that on some rocks in the middle of the stream is the body of a dead lizard folk.
Oh.
And as you're looking out at this, you begin to hear a fluttering drone, much like a hummingbird. And several somethings sort of detach themselves from the rocky wall on the ravine, and they are buzzing very quickly toward the three people on the rope bridge. And you can tell that they are coming in with hungry intent. And now it is time to take a break. Because we're at the midpoint, so let's go ahead and take our mid-show break. We will see all of you in just a few minutes, and we will complete this awesome adventure. Stick around, and we'll see you.
That's a good cliffhanger.
That's a good one.
Ouch.
You ask. We listen. Get ready for Things in Space! Starring Wes Johnson, Katie Wilson, Jamie Mills, Sam Forbes, Jess Hayes, and GM Ben Birch. Things are about to get out of this world.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It only took 2, and you killed it. Yeah! It is time to read some comments, y'all. I need a break from the chaos.
Lady Brian, thank you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. I must go. Sorry. Next time.
I'm just gonna pound. Right, let's go. Let's do the thing.
All right, so you all make your way over to the library.
17! That hits.
Yes!
That hits rat number 3.
Die!
Ted got it! Minimum damage! What is your
3
minimum?
damage. 3.
3? Okay. You cut him. You cut him real good.
We love her DM.
We love a good per diem.
We love a good per diem. Love a good per diem.
I'll give it to you beforehand if you just make sure to do it.
$7.50.
Yes, there's more on the table if you return. But I mean, the 5 of you.
Right.
5. 1, 2.
We won't bring back the goblin.
No, this.
Gather your crew and prepare to embark on the journey of a lifetime as you explore the packed worlds of the Starfinder universe, taking on the role of a science fantasy hero customized to fit your playstyle. But danger lurks amongst the stars. Will you fight back with advanced weaponry and cunning tactics, or will your hero wield the devastating forces that fuse magic and technology together to alter reality? Your crew must come together if you have any hope of victory. In Starfinder, every decision drives the adventure as you build an epic saga with your friends. Bring your story to life in a game where the fate of the worlds rests on the answer to the most important question of all. What do you do? Begin your journey into the Starfinder universe today with the Starfinder Beginner Box, now available at Paizo.com, your local gaming store, and anywhere else adventure can be found.
Hi everyone, my name's Ben, and I'm the GM of Rise of the Runtlords. We'd like to invite you to come watch our show every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. We have such a great time. My players are the best!
Ben is the worst.
He's the worst.
He is the worst. The worst. He's the worst.
Literally the worst.
Ben is the worst. I remember this one time.
Ben made me get him ice cream in the middle of a stream.
He's always trying to throw my character off a cliff or into a furnace, and he thinks it's so funny.
It was so funny! And who could forget?
Ben keeps trying to kill my dog. He doesn't even roll dice. I mean, I've never seen him roll dice. He just makes the numbers up.
Good times. Oh, and this other time.
He makes up these stupid voices with these stupid characters.
He just expects me to know everything.
We just have such a good time because we're such good friends.
Ben killed my character. For no reason.
That's rude. It's rude and it's childish.
Stop trying to kill Ripka. I don't know why he does it. It's just a game.
My name is Ben, and I'm gonna do this dumb character. It's gonna sound like this.
I can't know every role, Ben. You need to check yourself before.
So join us Thursday nights.
Just so that he can game.
6:30 p.m. Pacific.
Don't even need it. Yeah, just go ahead and kill him.
On the DaT network.
Can you understand it? 'Cause I can't understand it.
Every day, millions of people face heartbreak in the form of a silent killer. I'm talking about character death. I'm talking about malicious dice. Failed saving throws, critical misses, failed skill checks. Malicious dice can strike any character at any time, and the results are devastating.
I only got to play Celestia for one session. I kept failing, roll after roll after roll, and then I got eaten by an aberration in the dark. I couldn't roll anything above a 5. The dice just...
Diana's tragic story is far from unique. The time to do something about malicious dice is now. And Tabletop Loot knows how to help. They're providing quality, affordable dice jails and shipping them to players in need across the nation. Go to tabletoploot.com today and order a dice jail for yourself and anyone you feel may be threatened by malicious dice. These safe, secure, and humane facilities will keep your tabletop safe from the kind of dice that don't care who they hurt. But it's not about giving up on your dice. Rehabilitation is possible for many of these viciously low rollers, thanks to Dice Jail's tabletop reintegration plans. It's time to stand up for our characters.
It's time to put malicious dice where they belong.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the second half of our first episode of Dragons and Things Heroic Endeavors. We're having a fantastic time trudging through the forest on a boar hunt, and we are about to have our first combat. But before we do, why don't we go ahead and talk to the chat for a little bit?
Chatty chat.
What it is, chat?
Chit chat.
Well, throwing it out there too. What was it? Phantos80 gifting subs to the community, to Spartan Undead, and to Oz. And also, Spartan Undead as well too. And Shattered, Shattered Tabletop Games. That is who POTUS gifted a sub to.
Nice.
Fantastic. Looks like we've got some extra cheers from Nandrasek, and we've got a very special donation. 5 edges for me.
Why?
Finally, a well-placed bonus.
Boo earns.
Whatever.
We just got a new Bit Boss Battle Boss.
Ooh, who's getting that bonus?
Coming for life is giving his bonus to Khan Shaka.
Khan Shaka getting a hero point.
Dang it, you said Khan. I got excited for a second.
Yeah. You and I don't get any hero points this game.
Yeah. Lamar, just so you're aware, a hero point is basically going to give you a reroll on any check that you want to use it on, or you can spend all of your hero points to stabilize if you were, say, dying.
Oh, okay. Oh, heck yeah. Rerolls for life. Thank you, people in chat who gave that to me. You're good people. I love you.
Well, the first thing that we got to do as we get back in here is roll initiative. For initiative, Lamar, that is going to be a perception. Perception is how you determine initiative in general.
Oh, so just the number, or do I still roll?
You still roll, and then you add your perception bonus to it.
I get a +1 this time.
Jim, can I add an edge even though I already rolled?
You can add an edge. Why
Michael Jordan!
No! You know what that means? For a critical success on a Michael Jordan, that means that no matter what anybody else's results are, you go first.
Oh, nice.
Rias is top of the round no matter what.
Plus he gets a +1.
Plus he gets a +1 on his next check. That's correct.
I use my +1 for my roll.
Oh, before Rias, I'm in for life donated $50 to give you and I overcharges so we don't feel left out.
You and I both have overcharges?
Overcharges.
That's pretty good. Extra damage is certainly going to help.
Dang.
Thank you, Steven.
Lamar, what is your initiative?
13. 12. 12.
12? All right.
12.
30-12.
They're 12.
I thought it was 13. I'm math bad.
Ban Ray?
10.
Math sucks.
Pipa?
26.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Normally you would be first, but unfortunately,
That's all right.
Rias is going to take it.
No, I rolled a 9. Hold on. What did I roll? I think 19 plus my 6 plus 1.
Yep.
What did I roll?
Yeah,
26.
Yeah, that's what I
That'll
rolled.
do it. That'll do it.
And then I added another.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
12.
12 for Oopsie. Top of the round is Rias. You see these fluttering creatures swooping in at everybody who's on the bridge. You're still over at the side of the ravine. You've spotted this lizard folk body down in the water. What do you do?
What can I determine? I don't have nature or anything, but what can I determine from these things just by looking at
nature? I mean, identifying them is a recall knowledge check. You have to have nature to do it. Otherwise, I mean, I can tell you they look like they have 4 wings and 6 barbed legs and a long hooked nose.
Okay, and how many of them are there?
You see 4 of them.
I see 4 of them. Okay. I am going to take aim at the one that would be closest to those on the bridge, or about how far away from them would you say I am?
Well, your friends are 30 feet out, and these things are coming from across the river, so they're 60 feet away.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to move up.
Okay.
Move up 30 feet so I can be within 30 feet. And I'm going to shoot one with a ray of enfeeblement.
Ooh.
Ray of enfeeblement.
That's I just kind of I close my hands just slightly, and this like little spark, this green spark starts going in between my fingertips, and I just thrust it forward. A ray of enfeeblement.
Don't like it. Tell me what that's going to do to me.
Well, I need to attempt a ranged spell attack first.
Alrighty.
See if I can hit you with it.
Or add your +1 for your...
So that is going to give me a 15.
15 is a fail. You barely miss this thing as it starts fluttering up towards your companions.
Whoa.
This ray of necrotic energy just goes bzzz, lances out into rock. So is it a 2-action spell?
Yes.
All right, so that's 1 action to move, 2 actions to fire off your ray.
I look at my hand, I just shake it like, my aim is off.
Peepa, what would you like to do here?
I would like to do a nature check.
Sure.
Please.
I'm going to go ahead and use one of my old sinks to give you a -1 on that nature check.
Don't worry, because I rolled a 6, and my 4 -1 is just enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's going to fail. You're not sure what these things are, but they look nasty.
All right. Is there rocks or is there rocks near me? What's around me that
sure.
I can throw?
You could absolutely pick up a rock and throw it.
Great. I'm going to use my telekinetic projectile and grab the rock from the ground and launch it towards one of the flying thingies.
Sure. Now, you had stayed back by Fanray, so these things are a good 60 feet away from you. What is the range on telekinetic projectile?
Feet. Okay, let me look. I didn't realize how far away I am. 30 feet, so no, that would not even do anything.
If you wanted to move up onto the bridge, you could then do it.
Okay, yeah, I have a move action, so yeah, let's go ahead. I'll move up.
So you take,
I'll grab one of the rocks with me.
Yep.
And I launch it.
Launch it at one of these creatures. Go ahead and make a spell attack.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to sink that too.
Oh my god, it's okay, because you know what? I also rolled a 2, so I cracked it.
Oh no! The worst
Fantastic.
possible thing that could ever happen has to happen now. This rock goes launching, but you realize that once you get close to your friends, you're so much shorter than them, and they're all up in the way, and this rock goes hurtling forward. Why don't you make another spell attack roll?
Oh no. 20 on the die. Plus.
Oh no! You're
27.
This rock goes hurtling, and at this point, Sandy has he turns around to look at you. He's like, "What do we do?" And this rock just clunk right in his head, and he goes rocking back against the ropes, and his arm flails out, and the bow falls off the bridge, splashing into the water below. And he's like, "No!" I also need to roll damage.
Can I use my glimpse of redemption against that damage?
Oh my
Jim?
god!
You cannot. It wasn't an intentional act to hit him,
I don't
so
know.
She can't really be redeemed from it. So I would say no.
2
All right.
plus what's your spellcasting ability modifier? Where's that at?
No, your
Your
spell.
spell- what do you use?
I mean, what's your mod? What are you
Your
casting
bard, so
with?
charisma.
Yeah, it's a
Charisma?
so +4.
Okay, so 6 points of damage.
6, but that was a natural 20, so it's a critical hit.
12.
So 12 points of damage, and Sandy, not only does the bow go flying, but he's on the ground, and he's his head's bleeding, and he's barely coherent.
I just gotta sit in my skirt and just look and go, oops, sorry.
That's
Peepa's amazing turn. It is these creatures who begin. You guys can all hear this fluttering of their leathery wings as they towards you. Each of them has to take a single move to get to you. One of them, and then just sort of flutters towards Oopsie and tries to sink its barbed legs onto him.
I do have a question about attacks of opportunity, Jim.
Okay.
Because I have a glaive which has reach.
Yeah, attacks of opportunity are a special reaction that
Okay, so
not
given.
everybody has them. Yeah, if you don't have that reaction, you cannot take them.
Great.
So this creature just sort of flutters over, and it tries to get its barbed legs into your armor so it can attach itself to you, and it hits an armor class of 12.
No.
No, that is not going to do it. So it's its third and final action. It might as well just go ahead and try to do the same thing again. I would take a -5 because this is my second attack action. However, I'm going to take a -4 because I'm going to use one of my old edges.
I'm going to counter that with a sink.
Oh.
Double sink.
Double sink.
Yeah, fine. That is only going to be then a 12 again because of all the negatives that I would take. So it tries to attach itself to you, but you're just dodging and brushing it off, and it can't get its little barbs into you. One of them is going to try to flutter over and attach itself to Rius, who shot a ray at it. And that is, that's probably going to get you with a total of 25.
Damn.
That's a critical hit, Jim, because my AC is a 14.
That is fantastic.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, it does not look like there is a critical effect for this. However, it latches onto you with its barbed legs and sinks its little legs into you. And you are flat-footed while it's attached. And then with its third action, since it's already attached to you, it just sinks this long hooked nose into your shoulder and begins pumping blood from you into its own body, dealing 3 points of damage.
Ew, it's like giant mosquitoes.
It deals 3 points of damage, and you are drained 1. Being drained means you take a status penalty equal to the drained value onto your constitution-based checks, such as fortitude saves. You also lose a number of hit points equal to your level. So you lose 1 hit point, and you take a -1 penalty on fortitude saves.
So an additional hit point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
That goes to your so the drain affects your maximum hit points. So your maximum hit points are reduced by 1, which does also reduce your current hit points by 1.
Oh.
That reduces your maximum, just so you're aware. And that will remain until you get a full night's rest.
Oh. No.
That was all 3 of its actions. 1 to flutter over, 1 to attach, and 1 to drain your blood. There are 2 more of these creatures. One of them is going to go and try to land on Peepa. Peepa, it probably gets you with a... Oh, wait, is it? Is it? No, it's a 24, not a 23. Is a 24 a critical? Not that actually it doesn't matter for these. So it attaches itself to you. With its third action, begins to drain Peepa's chlorophyll.
Excuse me.
Sorry, we froze for a second.
Froze, yeah.
Well,
So
this thing
Peepa has
fluttered
attacked.
over. It attached itself to you, and you take 2 points of damage and are drained 1. So you also reduce your maximum hit points by 1. That was the third of these creatures. The fourth one,
It's gonna be a hard fight, Jim.
It is going to be if y'all don't start. If you don't, well, it's actually going to be pretty easy for me if you start criticaling each other like you have been. The fourth of these creatures is going to try to gang up on Oopsie, since Oopsie dodged the first attack. That is a 15 total?
Nope.
No? All right, I'm going to go ahead and try to attach again. Even less. So it tries to... So Oopsie, you're actually doing the best fending these things off, but you can see that your companions are actually having quite a bit of trouble as these things just attach themselves and start draining their vital fluids. After those guys go, it is Khan's turn. What are you doing?
I'd like to remind everybody that Khan is not the hero. He is going, as he was on the bridge, he is going to use his move action to get to the kid, to pick the kid up, and to go to the other side of the bridge.
Oh, nice. So you just grab the kid.
Aren't you tied?
So yeah, that's basically 3 actions. Move to the kid, pick up the kid, run to the other side of the bridge. That's 3 actions, but you get him out of harm's way.
Isn't Khan tied to the edge of the ravine?
No, I tied a rope to one and holding the other.
Okay.
So rope's gone.
So
I will bow to that.
So he left the rope behind.
Oh, hell yes.
All right. good use of your actions, probably saving this little kid's life, which takes us to Oopsie's turn.
Attacking with a reach weapon in a 5-foot.
In
No penalties?
Pathfinder 2nd Edition, there does not appear to be any stipulation about that. You can just do it.
Well, I'm going to go after the first one with my glaive.
All right.
The upward swing. Well, it's a 4 on the die, so that's going to miss.
It's a yes.
Unless an 8
Not
hits.
doing good.
An 8 does not hit.
Oh god, oh god.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and swing 2 more times at the negatives here, because...
Well, did you have your glaive in your hand when this all started?
I did. I specifically stated I pulled it out.
That's true, you did. I have to give that to you, even though I hate it.
I don't know if you can see, but there's a 2 and a 0 on that die.
Oh, come on now.
And this is a deadly weapon.
Well, what's your total? Because it may actually matter what your total is, depending on whether you can get a 23 or not, because you have a major penalty to your attack right now.
Oh, I do. But I thought 20 was always a crit anyway.
No, it's automatically going to be a hit, but it might not be an automatic crit.
So it's a 19 after modified out.
Not 19 after modified. So 19 would normally be a hit, so that gets bumped to a critical because of the 20. So yes, it is a critical hit.
Okay.
Nice.
Do you double the die or do you roll the die twice?
You roll 2 damage dice, and double what you add to the dice.
Copy. All right. Total of, I have to math because I'm dumb. 8 damage. It's not the best. Not the best.
8 points of damage. It's not the best, but it's enough to just...
Oh, wait, I lied. Because it is the deadly, I get an additional D8.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
15.
15. Regardless, it was already dead as you just, like, skewer this thing and throw it over the side of the bridge. Its limp body just tumbling down and splashing into the water below.
And then third action, I'm just going to swing at the...
Sure, minus 10, but you can do it.
Minus 10, yep. 10 on the die, plus 4, minus 10, so probably not.
Nah, we're not even in the same ballpark as these guys.
All right.
It is now Fanray's turn.
Fanray gives the biggest huff and is like, ugh, and pulls out her short bow as a move. And will fire a shot at, I guess, the furthest one, which would be nearest to Sandy and Khan. Is that possible?
So right now, there's one that's attached to Pipa. There's one that's attached to Rias, and there's one that's fluttering above that was trying to attach itself to Oopsie.
I'm gonna aim for the one that's on Pipa right now.
Okay, great.
With at least my first shot.
Because it is attached, it is currently flat-footed. So if you have sneak attack, you do get that.
Oh, I hope I hit.
Go.
Okay.
Use your edges.
I don't have any. I used them already.
Aww.
19 plus 6 is a 25.
Let me see here. That is, because it's flat-footed, a critical hit.
Yes! Yes! Okay. I'm so excited about this. It is also a deadly D10.
That is.
So you, just so you know, you double your sneak attack as well. You don't double the deadly die, but you do double sneak attack in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
Okay, so I'm rolling my D6 for the short bow, a D10 for the deadly, and 2 D6 for sneak attack.
Yes. Well, normally D6, so normally it's a D6 for sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
You're normal, so it's an extra D6.
Just double it.
And an extra D6 for the weapon damage.
Oh, so 4d6.
4d6.
Too much math.
Plus your deadly die.
So 1d6. So your weapon normally does 1d6.
Right.
Because you're critical, you're going to do 2d6.
Then a
For
D10,
sneak attack normally does 1d6. Now you're going to... So you're only 4d6. If it's alive after this, your dice need to be set on fire.
Yeah, it's 46, and you still also add the deadly die after all of that.
Okay.
46 plus 10 is 56.
Thanks, Con.
Adam Con.
Con shot, damn it.
18 points of damage.
18 points of damage. And Pipa, you feel this thing just pop like a water balloon on your back and you are just showered in your own chlorophyll as this thing just explodes.
Gross.
It just sinks back into my skin underneath
You
my
just
lesions
reabsorb
skin.
it?
Yes.
You.
Yes.
And you know what?
It's
I have
her
a third action.
chlorophyll.
I might as well attempt to take a second shot.
Sure, why not? -5,
At
but
the
you can do it.
one attempting to get on the one on Rias.
Sure, that one's already flat-footed, so that's a good one.
16 on the die is, and then -5, so it's total of 17.
17 is still a hit. Not a critical,
Yay.
but you get that hit.
Get it.
And I get sneak attack.
You do get sneak attack, it is flat-footed.
Nice.
That's 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage, and there's another shower of blood
Yes.
as you just explode this other creature.
Nice.
That takes us to the top of the next round with Rias up first.
All right. So how far away was I from Oopsie? Because I went onto the bridge.
Only like 10 feet away from Oopsie, so
And
he's real close to you.
And there's one above him, right?
Yeah, it's trying to sink its barbed legs into him, but he's too quick. His armor's too strong.
All right. I'm going to pull out. I'm going to pull out my heavy crossbow.
Okay.
Load it up.
All right.
And I'm going to fire.
All right. That's 3 actions, but it'll get you an attack.
Kablamo! I'm going to miss with a total of a 9.
Yeah, I mean it was a lot of effort. It was very impressive to see just ka-chunk and then but the bolt just goes flying off into nowhere, frustratingly so.
I'm still not feeling good from like having that thing shoved its barbed tongue into me.
It did not feel good at all. You still don't feel good. It is Peepa's turn though. After that.
So the one. Okay, so Fan Ray shot an arrow, correct?
She shot two.
She
Two
did.
arrows.
Two. Yep.
Next to me. Can I rip it out of the body and then cast my spell again, telekinetic projectile, towards another one?
I like your flavor. You can do that.
Okay. So I roll. I'm gonna add an edge. Thank you guys for my edge.
All right.
Reminder: the people on the bridge are your friends.
That's why I'm off the bridge.
So 15. So I rolled a 14 plus my edge, 15 plus my spell attack roll is 7.
22.
22?
22 is a hit.
Close.
Yay! That's a 1d6. Oh. Ooh. Do I add anything? I forgot. Telekinetic projectile.
Plus your spell modifier. So
Oh.
5.
So 5.
5 points
Oh,
of
that's
damage.
right. Sorry. Okay, yes. I
With
forgot.
Fan Ray's arrow.
You just fling this arrow out, and it pierces through one of this creature's wings, but it doesn't kill it. It's still like fluttering around.
That's okay.
Still in the air, but it's a good hit. You do have 1 action left. It's 2 actions to cast the spell. You have 1 action left if you'd like.
I would turn around and look at Fan Ray and go, "Thank you so much," and then I'd focus on my next turn.
All right. It is now this creature's turn. It knows no fear. It only knows the scent of blood, and it tries to attach itself to Oopsie. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and use an edge on this. And that... It's a natural 1.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Two, so it's still a crit!
Yeah.
Yay.
So it swoops in and tries to, it's just, but it was so thrown off by getting hit by that arrow that it's just like wheeling in the air now. It rights itself and swoops in with its second action to try this again at a -5. We use an edge to make that a -4.
What about a sink?
Then it's a -5. Let me check one thing here real
Good job,
quick. So
Jamie.
that's
Good
plus
job.
3. That is now a total of 21.
Ah, that's gonna do it.
So it finally just clunk onto you, and with its third and final action, it drains some of your blood.
I don't
You
like
take
that.
1 point of damage, and you're drained 1.
Drained 1.
This was all 3 of its actions. Not a very... It's pretty anticlimactic, but hey, you know what? Maybe that drained will be what gets you in the end. It is now Khan's turn. You've got this guy like
Not you.
slung over your shoulder. What do you do?
Can I drop him as a free action?
Yes, you can.
I want to drop him as a free action.
He falls into the ravine and dies.
Sorry,
I'm just kidding.
Drop him as a free action. I want to search him for his cure wounds potion, and then force him to drink it.
Make a perception check.
Perception is dog. That is a 9 plus. Perception is 16.
Yeah, you managed to. You're patting him down. There's a pouch that he's wearing on his left side, and you're like, you can feel the outline of a bottle. You open up and get that real quick, and indeed, you find he's got a potion.
I will feed him the potion.
I'm sure it's not the
toxin. That it roll a 1d8. That would be hilarious.
That would totally be Preston.
That would be
yeah.
A 3.
3. Okay. Well, hey, it's you
It
know,
helps.
it's something. The bleeding stops, and he's sort of like his eyes flutter open, and he looks up at you, and he's like, "Ow!"
I know you gotta watch. You gotta watch for those rocks, bro.
People rocks.
It is Oopsie's turn now.
Am I any negatives with this guy on me?
You are not.
All right, then I'm gonna try and get him off of there. Glaive him, glaive up and try and pop him off. 14 on the die plus 4. So 18, Jim, to hit.
18. I'm sorry, what did you do? Was this just attacking him?
Yeah, just with the glaive.
Okay. Sure. That feels kind of weird to me, but I guess in the rules, I don't see a reason you can't do it.
Yeah, I'll use the back end of it to try and more of a pry than a stab.
Okay. Well, are you trying to detach it from yourself, or are you trying to hit it to deal?
I'm trying to kill it.
Okay.
I don't want it.
Then, well, that is a hit.
Gonna be 8 damage total.
8 points of damage, and you just squish it against yourself and pop it like a bloody balloon.
Gross.
Yummy.
Yeah. And you have killed the last one.
Can I glance?
Hey.
Are dead.
Can I glance over the edge and see if I can see the bow floating in the river?
Sure, yeah, make a perception check.
14 plus 3, 17.
17. You are looking over the edges of you're looking down into the water, looking around. You can see that there's there are some trees sort of growing low on the rock wall, really weird looking trees. They've grown out, and their root systems have created some weird thickets in the water in places. And you can actually spot that the bow has wedged itself in one of these snarl of roots and is there. You would have to, judging from the positioning where this thing is growing up out of the rocks, where this tangle of roots is, you would have to, in order to get to it, climb down the side of the ravine, swim out to the huge limb that's jutting out over the water, and then you would balance yourself across the tree limb to get to the snarl of roots where you could grab the bow up out of it.
How high is the ravine thing?
Maybe a good 20 feet, or no, sorry, 15 feet about.
Shim, question.
Yes.
Would it be possible to have an unseen servant fly down, because it says I can fly, and try and grab the bow?
The worry is that without fine, delicate control, and unseen servants are sort of shoddy, is that if you dislodge the bow accidentally, it could just get washed away and be gone.
Okay.
Well, Shaka's rope is still there, right?
Yep.
So can I just kind of Errol Flynn over and stamp her down the cliffside?
So while you guys are looking out at this and you're deciding, about the bow, and you sort of gather yourselves up, Sandy is looking down. He's like, "Oh, I dropped the bow." And he sees that you're looking for it, and you're getting all ready to go. And he's looking out into the water, and he's like, "Well, I mean, I could probably make it if unless you don't think I should, I mean, you can do it if you want, but I think I could get it. I know how to swim, and I don't know. What do you think we should do?
Young Lord, sometimes it's reasons they hire us, man. You just sit right here and tend to that head wound you got. Gnarly scars, scars, man. But we're going to let the other guys take care of getting into the dangerous ravine. Because you, my dude, you have a pig to slaughter. And we don't need to deal with you dying and drowning.
Okay. So Khan Shaka says no, but it looks like Oopsie kind of says yes. What do the rest of you think?
I don't believe that you should be the one that goes down there. We shall take care of it. Be safe, like Kanchaka was telling you.
Pipa?
I would say, ooh, maybe we should help you with that giant scar on your face. I mean, I'm really sorry that weird bug threw that rock at you.
All right, and then what about Fanray?
I think the boy might be able to do it. However, I would like to maybe tie a rope on you in case something goes wrong.
Okay, so since the party's a little split, and he's now like looking back and forth, he's not really sure what he should do. I will allow, since Oopsie was sort of the leader of the Go Forth and Prosper child, and Shaka was the first to say, hey, hold on, we're gonna maybe take this easy. Oopsie and Khan can both make a diplomacy check. Khan, because you have 2 allies on your side, you're going to get a +2 bonus for each one. So you get a total of +4. Whereas Oopsie, you only have 1 supporter. You get a +2 bonus to your diplomacy check.
Can I overcharge it?
No. You could use any other type of bonus, but this doesn't deal with
other bonuses.
So I get a +4 to be a good parent. Good.
God. Yep. I only got a +1 to this. Well, plus Jamie's.
22.
Oh,
okay.
That's not bad.
I should have charged it because I should have edged it as I wanted to.
So I rolled a 19.
Ooh.
I have a +1 in diplomacy, and with Jamie's 22.
Can I add an edge to Lamar? Probably too late. No, it's okay.
Oh wow!
I did not
overcharged
expect this.
Okay,
you
now,
know what, Jared?
But both of you bring up fantastic arguments. What if we let him go, but we're still cautious and go with him? Yeah.
Yeah, we could also.
So, Sandy sort of looks and he says, well, maybe you're right then. If you don't think I should go, and I guess I did get pretty hurt. So he sort of sits down and he waits to see who of you will go and get the bow. Now, the way this will work is one of you, multiple of you can go out. However, everybody who stays on, we're actually going to play this out in rounds. Everybody who stays can serve as a helpful lookout. Anybody who goes at the end of each round will make a check so first it'll be the check to climb, then the check to swim, then the acrobatics checks to balance to go out and get the bow. Everybody who stays back will get to take actions that can either help the person who is acting with their check or help them avoid a hazard on the way. So it's up to you. If you all want to go, that's fine, but you won't get any of those bonuses from people who are serving as spotters.
Khan's going to stick with the young boy.
So Khan's a spotter.
I'm a spotter. I can't swim.
Pipa's a spotter.
My leaves will go.
I'm much better at athletics than looking at things.
So
I have
Oopsie seems to want to go out.
I have a -1.
At what? Spotting?
No, -1 athletics. I can't swim.
Oh. And what about Fanray?
Fanray's going to go out.
Fanray is going to go out. So Oopsie and Fanray are going to go out.
I shall stay then. Oh, and Jim, really quick question. Can I use my mercy to get rid of that negative hit point thing?
You can. And what that will allow you to do is actually make a fortitude save, which is DC 10 plus the value of the condition, which is 1. So DC 11 fortitude save. in order to remove the condition entirely.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
but I am at a
awesome.
-1 for my fortitude save. And I'm actually going to spend the other one, and I'm going to give it. Can I use my other mercy on Pipa?
Normally no, but why not?
Okay.
Aw,
So
thank you.
can try to-
Normally
Everybody
no.
loves Pipa.
Aw, thanks. So I'm rolling as well too.
Yeah,
Yep.
fortitude.
Fortitude save. Where's my
DC
fortitude
11.
on here? Where's fortitude? There it is.
So if I didn't have that -1, Jim, I would have been at an 11, but I'm at a 10.
Oh no!
And I already rolled.
Oh no!
Don't you have an edge?
Oh, I do have an edge. Can I add the edge now?
You can add your edge to it, yes.
Edge. Okay.
And that will put you exactly where you need to be to
Yay.
get rid of the drained condition.
I rolled a 16 plus my fortitude.
Oh
is-
yeah, then you easily bypass it. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
both
you.
no longer drained. Excellent use of the mercies.
Thank you. Thank you for the mercies, you
Yes,
guys out
thank
there.
you. And I would just say before they go down, if you're able to check out that lizard folk as well, the scars, anything, just let me know, please.
All right.
Oh, that's
So-
right. The lizard folk is down there.
So as I mentioned, we'll be playing this out in rounds. But instead of rolling for initiative, we're just going to have the spotters go first, and spotters who stayed back. You get 3 actions as normal. One, seeking is a perception check that might help you spot danger. If you succeed on your perception check, then you can use a 2-action diplomacy check to call out helpful advice that will give your allies a +1 bonus on the check that they're trying to make. Now, there are multiple things to point out for each thing. So even if one person spots something, somebody else can continue to spot things. You can also use all 3 of your actions if you want to try to spot things, because when you spot something, your other spotters are presumed to know about that. So then they can use their actions to focus on trying to give the people who are acting their bonuses. At the end of that, when all the spotters have used up their actions, then the people who are actually trying to get down there make their check to do whatever it is they're trying to do. First, as I mentioned, climb down the ravine. However, there is also a danger involved. And if you don't spot the danger and help warn them about it, then they will be subject to horrible consequences and it'll be all your fault.
Oh.
I don't want that.
So round 1, trying to climb down the ravine, Fanray and Oopsie begin making their way down cautiously, and it is Khan's turn as spotter. You can use, right now, pretty much the only thing that you can do is perception, unless you just don't want to do anything. You can choose not to act. That would be cruel.
Khan is going to use his action to actually pull out his staff.
Okay.
Just in case something pops off.
Gotcha.
And use his 2 actions to spot.
Okay, so make a 2 perception checks.
I have the sight. 21 and 13.
21.
Nice.
You spot some really good. You spot a tangle of strong roots that look like they would make a good handhold. And if somebody else can call them out with a successful diplomacy check, you would be able to warn your friends where they can put their hands, which would give them a +1 bonus to their athletics check to climb. And that is all 3 of your actions. So we go next to Pipa. Pipa, you can continue to try to spot more things that will help, or you can use a diplomacy check to try to tell them, shout out what you've already seen.
I'll use a diplomacy check.
Okay.
15 plus 7.
Easily done. You guys can all hear Pipa's little voice. What do you tell them?
So you said there's roots for.
There's like roots
holding?
like clinging to the stones that they would be able to use that would make really good handholds.
My friends have left you roots along the stones, so grab them gently and use them towards the bow.
That is going to give Oopsie and Fanray a +1 bonus, an additional +1 bonus to their athletics check this round. You have 1 more action. Do you want to try to spot something else?
Yes, please.
All right, make a perception
I'm going
check.
to use my edge, so that I rolled an 8 plus 1, 9, and perception is a 6, so 15.
15. You don't spot anything
easy
else,
enough.
and that takes us to Rias's turn.
They
know about the handholds now, so you might as well. You can either, again, choose to do nothing, or if you have a different, like if you actually do have a different ability that would give some, like a spell or something, you can use that. But otherwise, you can just try to spot some more danger. Or...
Yeah, I want to look for danger for sure.
Okay,
perception
sure.
on some danger. Plus, dang, it's only a 9.
Only a 9. All right. You don't see anything else. But that is just one action. You can, well, if you try again, you don't have enough actions to do more. So you can try to spot more, but nobody else has extra actions to actually make.
Okay. They shouted out those handholds. Can I perceive like what their next task is going to be? See if I can see something.
You want to? Yeah, you can try to make a perception check out into the water.
So out into the water. Okay. Better. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You're looking out into the water. You don't really see anything on the cliffs that would help them. However, you do notice that in the water, when they get down there, if they move just a little bit downriver, there's a patch of rocks that would actually allow them to walk a little bit further into the middle of the water, so they wouldn't have to swim as far, so that they'd be less likely to tire themselves out swimming. So that'll give them, if somebody can warn them where to go and direct them to that, that'll give them an additional +1 to their athletics check on the swimming portion, which will happen next. But after that,
can I use that as my third action?
You want to use the third action? Go ahead.
Yeah,
or no, it's 2. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
Okay. I would just shout out. Once you all get down and you're in the water, there's some rocks that you can get upon. It's going to make it easier, so you don't have to swim quite as far.
Make that diplomacy check.
An 18 on the die.
Whoa, yeah, you guys can also hear the sibilant phrases coming from above you as your lizard folk companion starts pointing out ways where you can go before you get into the water that will surely be helpful in the future. But now it is time for our action heroes to act. Oopsie and Fanray, you both need to make an athletics check.
And we have +1 from the spot.
You get +1 because one of those handholds were pointed out to you.
14.
17.
17 is a pass. 14 is a failure.
No.
Oopsie. Oopsie. You try to get over to these roots that were pointed out to you, but your hand slips. You're still covered in a little bit of blood from the battle that you just had, and your hand slips on the rocks, and you drop down into the water. You are momentarily disoriented. You're going to take a -2 penalty on the check to swim when we get there. So just keep that in mind as you try to right yourself. However, it looks like Fanray does quite a bit better. But as you're moving along, a danger that was not spotted, your hand slips and you brush against a very carefully camouflaged, like papery substance that almost looked like the rocks. And then you hear this loud, angry buzzing sound, and you realize that you've disturbed a hornet's nest. And all of these hornets come rushing up out of this nest, and I need you to make a reflex save with no bonus because nobody nobody noticed this danger.
I'm sorry. I tried.
23.
Yes,
23.
please.
Michael Jordan.
23.
Michael Jordan.
Not only do you critically succeed, but you'll get an additional +1 bonus to your next D20 roll thanks to that all wild magic still active.
I don't think Crag knows about the wild magic. He just popped in. He keeps popping in and out and has no idea that we have a wild magic that's all about you, Crag.
It's all about Crag.
I'll let the family tell you in chat. Yeah.
Barbarian's legacy.
Sorry, I just had to say that.
No,
I'm
that's
sure
good.
Would want to
Crag
know.
needs to know. Crag needs to know that he's here with us in spirit.
Yes.
So that is a critical success. You managed to avoid the wasps, scamper down the rest of the way, and gracefully dip into the water. The wasps flutter overhead, waiting for you to surface, but you wait and you wait, and then they finally lose interest and leave. And you surface, taking a deep gulp of breath, and we move into the next round with our spotters up in the up above. It is Khan Shaka's turn first.
Free action. He kind of giggles at the hornets.
Okay.
First action, I want to spot, and then second action, I want to check for danger.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
And so it's 2. That dice sucks. All right, there we go. 26 and a 23.
Nice.
2 absolute successes. On top of the fact that there's the sort of shallow rocks that you could walk some of the way and not swim as far, you also note that hidden in some tall reeds, there's like this old bladder that looks like a buoy that must have been left here maybe by like a fisherman or washed downstream from one of the fishing villages or something. But you spot it sort of tangled in some reeds. If somebody could point it out and your friends could get a hold of it, it would help them significantly swim to where they need to go. You also notice that there is a large eel-like shape in the water, and it looks like it is something that would try to take a bite out of your friends. And if they could be warned of the danger, they would get a little bonus to their attempts to avoid it. But you've used 2 actions so far.
I'm going to use my last action to look for more danger.
Okay, make another perception check.
12. Perception 7, 12, 19.
That's a lot of numbers.
You don't spot anything else that looks dangerous. And now we go to Peepa's turn. You know, like Shaka or Khan Shaka's over there, and he's like pointing out all these things, and you realize that your friends don't know about them. You can make a diplomacy check to warn them about the thing that will help them, or you can make an intimidate check to warn them of the thing that is dangerous to them. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna do nope, diplomacy's higher. Diplomacy check on how to help them.
Okay, so you try to point out that you're shouting down, like, go get the buoy thingy that's floating there.
Yes, 17 plus 7.
24, that is definitely gonna do it. You guys, like, she points you over, there's some reeds over there. And you see this like floating bladder that would indeed provide you quite a bit of buoyancy as you're moving along and make swimming quite a bit easier.
My
giving you
again.
An additional +1, which will basically cancel out the -2 that Jared's going to take on this, because he's got 2 bonuses from his allies, but a -2 from his failure last turn. That was 2 actions for you to make your check. You've got 1 action left. What do you want to do?
I can't say the other thing.
It takes 2 actions to make a check to do that.
Oh, okay. So then can I look for other help? Helpful? Okay.
Sure.
19 on a die plus 6 perception.
Plus 6 perception. You don't notice anything else in the water. However, you do notice that over by the tree itself, let me see, what was on the tree? You notice that there is a very large stick that is almost broken off the limb that they would have to balance across. And if they grabbed it, they could actually use it to reach out and hook the bowstring so that they wouldn't have to balance to the very end of the branch, which would probably not hold their weight as well. So it would give them a little extra reach and help them get the bow off the tree limb where it's lodged.
Okay.
And now it is Rias's turn. You know that your companions know about all the bonuses that they can get at this point, but you know that there's also danger they're unaware of. So you basically left with giving them an intimidation check to try to warn them of the creature that wants to take a bite out of them.
Yes, I will shout down, once you're over in the water, be very careful because there's an eel lurking beneath it.
That's if you pass it.
Make an intimidation check.
That's going to be a 22.
Oh.
22 is a success, but not the grand critical success that we were all hoping for.
Yeah.
So both of you you hear about there's a creature down in the water. You look, you spot it, you're ready for it. That's going to give you, basically, it's going to make an attack, and you're both going to get a +2 bonus to your armor class against that attack because you were warned and you can see it coming. Now,
final action. Can I reload? Reload my crossbow.
Sure, you can reload your crossbow.
Yeah,
yep,
I'll reload
absolutely.
that. You ready?
We now go to Oopsie and Fanray. It is time to swim. You get a +2 bonus from your allies, and you get a +2 bonus to your AC against the danger that you've been warned of. but you both do need to make your athletics check regardless.
Just so you know, Jim, Silent H donated $12 to literally sink Fanray and I.
Okay, well then I guess I have no choice but to put those sinks on one to try to literally sink you.
Wow. That is fantastic.
Fine. Oh no, dude, I love it. I love the rude.
Wow.
Okay.
And Fenrir, you got a
24.
BB. You got a BB too.
14.
14, that is a failure.
I'm good at athletics.
Wait, can I give an edge to Jared?
You can.
Can I give one to Jared?
Yes.
I'm gonna give one to Jared.
Okay.
15, Jim.
A 15 is still a failure.
Oh.
But it was a generous donation.
You're welcome. I tried.
Overcharged.
You do manage to get where you need to go, but you are also going to be fatigued now until you can rest. Just so you're aware, you're like swimming around, you're getting just absolutely dog tired, and then this eel comes up. First, it tries to sink its teeth into Fanray's legs as she swiftly swims by. That is a total of an 8. So it's definitely not going to hit. But then it sees that there's a goblin who might be a little easier eating because looks like he's slowing down. So
I'm gonna sink your roll.
Fine.
You're welcome.
Fine. Sink your battleship, Jim.
It's gonna come in and try to take a bite out of old Oopsie with a 17. But you do get a +2 bonus to your AC because you were warned.
Booyah!
If I didn't have that +2, you would have got me because of the fatigue.
The companion saved you. You managed to push off some rocks just at the right moment. And the eel goes, tries to tromp around your legs, but misses. And then frustrated, it just slithers off into the water and disappears. You are now both at the tree limb. You're going to have to balance across it to get where you need to go. You're going to get a +1 bonus to this roll no matter what, because you know you don't have to go as far because you've got this stick now that was pointed out to you that you can use to reach. But before that, if any of your friends want to continue spotting for you, they can. It is Shaka Khan first.
Khan Shaka, gosh darn it.
Khan Shaka.
Khan Shaka from the Shaka clan.
You're right.
Anyway.
You're right.
I will use an action to look for anything to help the spot.
Right.
That is 25.
25 is a success. You see that you can see that the tree limb that they would go across actually splits at one point, and you see that you can kind of tell that one of the sides is a little stronger and won't bend as much under their weight. And so if somebody can point that out to them with a diplomacy check, then they'll know which way to go. It'll be more successful.
Yeah, the player's better at diplomacy than the character, so I'm not going to do that. I will use the next 2 actions to point out everything that I saw to the young master, the young one, so he learns of what's going on.
Sure, you could make another check to see if you want to spot any danger. Nobody has.
I'll do that. But that's a 15.
15, yeah, you don't spot anything dangerous. But that does take us to Peepa's turn. There's one more thing you could use 2 actions to point something helpful out to your allies, or you could make a seek action to see if you can spot any danger. What do you want to do?
Seek action is with intimidation.
That's perception. Seeking is perception.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Let me seek for danger.
Okay, looking for danger. See if you can spot anything that might look out of the ordinary.
18 plus 6.
18 plus 6 is going to get you a 24.
That Bakersfield is rolling hot tonight.
You actually do see that coiled up amongst some of the dead branches, almost invisible because it's camouflaged, there is a snake.
Oh no.
There is a snake. Somebody should warn your companions. You have 2 actions left. You can make a diplomacy check to try to warn them about the path they should take, which will give them a bonus, or you can make an intimidate check to warn them of the danger and hopefully give them a bonus on any attempts to avoid it.
Let me do diplomacy to avoid the snake.
That would be intimidation to avoid the snake.
Sorry, intimidation. Oh, I'm going to use a reroll.
Oh, using the hero points.
I have 1 left. Here we go. Okay. Intimidation. $15?
15. Yeah, you're shouting like, look out, and you're pointing, and it doesn't look like your companions can hear you. They just don't seem to, like, they're still just moving as if they just don't know what's going on. But maybe Rhys can be the one to help. Can he save the day?
Yes, I'm going to shout out. People's trying to shout out, beware of the snake.
All right, make an intimidation check.
You rolled the same thing as I did.
It's going to be an 18.
18. That is actually a success.
Yay!
You managed to shout just loud enough, and you can look back and you can see both Pipa and Rhys are up there. They're pointing out, and they're like frantic. And you look, and you're trying to see what they're pointing to, but you know there's danger ahead, so you start moving much more cautiously ahead. You'll get a bonus if there were, say, a save that you'll need to make in a moment. But before we get to that, I need you both to make your acrobatics checks to balance your way across this outgrown tree limb. You're both going to get, I believe, a +2 from what your friends have pointed out to you. Or no, +1. They didn't point out the path. So you both get a +1 to your acrobatics checks on top of whatever else you've got.
I've changed die, Jim.
23.
Nice.
Michael Jordan!
Hey, Michael Jordan!
Jamie forgot. I love it.
Ow, 23 is a magic number, y'all.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Both of those are successes, but as you're making your way across, you hear this sudden hissing sound, but you were kind of ready. You were kind of prepared for something scary. So you both, as this snake comes like snapping up at you, it's momentarily startling, but since you were a little bit prepared, you both get to make a reflex save with a +1 bonus.
Oh, Jamie.
Does drained effect saves?
Only fortitude.
Okay.
16.
16 is a pass. You managed to. You like almost are like startled back up. You like you almost fall off the place where the tree limb that you're walking on, but you managed to keep your feet. You're very nimble. How about Oopsie?
25.
Oh, Oopsie was ready for it. He basically just whacks it with the butt of his glaive, and the snake falls in the water and is swept away. You both managed to reach the bow, and together you reach out with this like long stick that was pointed out to you. You hook the bow, and you get it up and manage to bring it in, throwing it over your shoulders.
Yay!
You've succeeded! You've retrieved the bow! Hooray! You did it!
And the lizard folk!
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the lizard folk.
Yes.
Yes.
You wanna? Why don't whoever is gonna go check out the lizard folk, go ahead and make an athletics check to swim over there.
I can do it.
You want to do it?
Be a regular old one.
16.
16. Easily enough, you managed to get over to this rock where there's a lizard folk. You can see that it's wearing some armor, some hide armor, and there's a gnarled, knotted club near its outstretched limp hand. But it's definitely dead. It's probably been dead for a full day or two.
Oh, freshly dead.
Can I do a medicine or
medicine check? Yeah, if you want to determine exactly how it died.
Cragged it.
Oh
no! Kill it! No, you bring it back to life.
As far as you know, it's actually alive. He's just sleeping. You don't know why but he won't get up. He's just sleeping.
Fair. I put him on my back and I start climbing up the rope that Kanshaka left.
You guys make your way back towards where your companions are waiting. You've retrieved the bow, and you can see that Sandoval is quite pleased to see what happens. He was like, "Wow, you guys work together," and like I feel like I learned a lot just watching you. It was, I guess it's a good thing I didn't go. It looked really dangerous. I guess maybe I'm just not cut out for any of this danger stuff. I mean, honestly, I feel like maybe, do we even need to do this? I mean, what's the point of just going out and killing a boar. I mean, I don't even know that that's what I want to do anymore. What do you guys think? What should we do? Should we just turn around and go back? Or do we keep going? I don't know what to do.
That's up to you. No, don't never let anyone tell you to do something you don't want to do. That's a true man. Goblin.
Does anybody else have anything to say about this? Or do you agree with Oopsie's assessment?
I'd say, we could always lie and say you actually killed it, and then they will never know the truth, except for us.
Except they expect us to bring the boar back for the feast.
Oh.
Young sire, dude, bruh. You're gonna end up doing a lot of shit you don't want to do, man. And this is gonna be one of them, and it's the start. Whether you actually do the killing blow or not, that is a moot point. But to finish the journey is the most important. So we should at least go forward, even if you sit and watch. And maybe you'll see how, to point things out and lead from a distance. But at least you know how.
So I feel like so far we've got a 2-2 vote. Does Rias have a hand in this, or do you sit back and watch it play out?
I would look at him and be like, what that assessment? I would agree with that. You've already come so far, and I would agree that you're learning things. Why not complete the journey that we're here for, regardless or not? If we don't kill it, we could lie for you.
Okay. It looks like we've got a 3-2. With Fanray leading the charge to keep going because she wants to complete the job, and Oopsie telling this kid to make his own decisions. Why don't you each make an opposed diplomacy check, with Fanray getting a +4 since she's got 2 allies, and Oopsie having a +2 with just the 1 ally, and Peepa.
19.
What?
Looks like we're killing a pig, Jim.
He says, you know what? I guess you're right. Sometimes you just got to keep going. And, if we don't show up with the boar, my parents are going to be so disappointed and they'll never let me live it down. And you're right. We've got to keep pressing on. We can do this. Let's go. That's what I want to do. And so he shoulders his bow that you've retrieved for him, and sort of leading the way, sets off into the forest. Is anybody, I'll actually have whoever would like to sort of lead this expedition and track the boar, make a survival check.
Got it.
Ain't got that.
You got it?
22.
22, oh yeah, wow. Nice. Pretty good. Not the best that anybody's done. There's one better, but it's still pretty good. You actually... within the next hour, traveling along beyond the bridge on the other side of the ravine, begin to see signs that lead you to believe that you are getting very close to the boar's territory. It's about maybe you would probably call it dinner time on a normal day. The sun isn't quite setting yet, but it has crossed its zenith and it's getting lower on the horizon. Still plenty of light. And you can see that there are deep gouges in some of the lower trunks of the trees where you recognize that a beast like this would have marked its territory. So now you know that you are getting closer and closer to the boar. What do you do?
I relay this information. We're getting close to the boar, y'all.
Okay. When you mention that, Sandy sort of gets his bow ready, and you can see he's shaking a little bit, and he's looking at all of you. He's like, okay, I guess this is it. What do you guys do?
I want to draw my glaive and stealth into the tree line.
Okay, we got some stealth. So just so you know, anybody who is stealthing forward will roll stealth for initiative instead of perception. And if you beat the creature's perception check in initiative, then you will also start hidden from the creature if you find it.
Nice.
I've got, it's already loaded. I'll have my crossbow out.
Okay,
so
you've got the crossbow at the ready?
Yeah, I'll play, I guess, kind of bait a little bit as well, too.
Okay.
Sure.
So you sort of
kind of scouting for it.
So while they are, if you're scouting, that's going to give everybody a +1 bonus to initiative checks if you have to make them. Pipa and Khan Shaka, you can either move forward sort of keeping an eye out, or you can move forward stealthily like Oopsie has done. I'm assuming Fanray is also going to do so, but I didn't check with you.
Absolutely.
All right, so Fanray and Oopsie sort of try to disappear and make their way more stealthily along. How do you guys want to go?
I'm going to perceive, because if I see something, I'll just conquer down into a plant if I can.
Okay. All right. And then Khan Shaka, is there anything? You can actually, since you're tracking the beast, just so you know, if we roll initiative, you can roll survival as your initiative skill instead of perception.
Thank
because
God.
you are tracking the beast actively.
It's the same roll.
Well.
I love it. I'm just looking up how this actually works real quick. Nope, 1 minute. Okay, not yet. I'm going to continue to search for the beast.
Okay.
But I'm not being stealthy for it, because if it jumps me, who cares?
Gotcha.
I'm going to motion for Sandy to come stealth down with me.
Okay, so you're going to direct him to stealth. Okay, so I'll make sure that he is doing that. And that takes us, I don't know why I just said that, but you guys begin creeping along.
Okay.
Some of you sort of keeping off the trail, some of you sort of serving as lookouts, others of you more like bait for this creature if you stumble upon it. And as you are moving, you suddenly hear this snorting and rustling sounds, and then a porcine squeal of rage as something comes bounding out of the forest directly at Pipa, Rias, and Khan Shaka, and it is time to roll initiative.
Yeah!
Yeet!
And everyone gets a +1 from me.
Everybody gets a +1 bonus.
Oof. Initiative is perception and 2, right?
Perception, yeah. Normally it's perception. Unless you're stealthing, then it's stealth.
Okay.
It's just perception, right? No, then the +1. Okay.
And a +1, yeah.
Yeah, the +1 is on top of everything else that you're doing.
Yep.
All right, I've got my initiative, but the question is, what's Khan Shaka's?
21.
Ooh, you got me by just a little bit. What about Oopsie?
27.
Whoa, you got me by a lot.
Damn.
I didn't know that you were so stealthy.
I'm very stealthy, Jim.
That was a stealthy champion. What about Fanray?
22.
Oh, 22 for Fanray. Rias?
16.
16 for old Rias. And Pipa?
I rolled a 22 as well.
Hey.
All right.
I guess I'm last. I couldn't get into the 20s with everybody.
Let me roll for our good friend Sandy, who's been stealthing along. He's last. That was bad.
Oh no, poor kid.
That's okay. He can stay last.
All right, Oopsie, you are first to react. You know that you spot this blue-skinned boar that is just angrily charging through the underbrush right for where you're standing. What do you do?
I will drop my glaive at my side.
Okay.
And draw my sling.
Okay.
And then I will load my sling.
Okay.
And then I will start the wind up and fire it at the same time.
Okay, you are currently hidden from this creature, so it is flat-footed.
Okay. I want to whisper to Sandy, take your time, line up your shot. Be ready.
Is that what you sound like? What's your sound like?
16 on the die to hit, +7. 21? Nope, 22. I can't math. 23.
23.
That is a critical hit.
With a sling, I love it.
Who was it that was saying, can level 1s even get 23s? They've gotten so many.
It's going to be 5 blunt damage.
Did you double it?
I did. Well, I rolled it twice.
Yeah, you don't add strength for your propulsive weapon?
I guess I do, huh?
Yeah.
Then it's going to be add 2 to that, 7.
Okay, so 7 points of damage.
Nice.
You just clobber this thing with a sling bullet. and it just shakes its head, and it looks like enraged, even more than it was. But that will take us to Fanray's turn. You are also hidden. What do you do?
Fanray would like to stay hidden.
Okay.
And she would basically like to, without anyone knowing, pull out the toxin and apply it to one of her own arrows.
Oh, okay.
No.
So that, I'm going to help without him knowing.
Okay.
Would I have any action after that?
If you've got I would say applying the toxin was probably a 2 action. Like, I would say that probably takes up all your actions for this round.
Sure.
But Peepa, you are not hidden, and this thing is angry, and its tusks look nasty. What do you do?
I cast shield on me, so it gives me a +1 to my AC.
Yep.
And can I do anything else, or is that a 2
It's
thing?
a one action.
It's a one,
shield is one of the
action.
very few 1 action spells.
Oh, great. So, and then I would ready my rapier in case I have to fight it up close.
Okay, so you get the rapier out, you shield yourself, and then we go to Khan Shaka's turn.
Everyone sees Khan Shaka just kind of beef up a little bit, and his shirt kind of rips, and his nails get really long as he screams, "I like bears, bro!" and charges, uses his wild morph, become a bit more feral, charges at the pig, and slashes at him.
All right.
That would be a 15.
15 is going to miss.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, wall form doesn't give you any pluses to any of that stuff. That's
Nah, it just gives you the claw attacks. But that is going to be your 3 actions. And as soon as you do all of this, it's time for it to go. And it sees you like charge up to it, and it skitters back, like it actually like does a 180 and rushes back, and then does a 180 again and comes barreling in at you and charges you with its tusks lowered. Oh man, is it gonna hurt?
Do we have anything? We don't got anything.
Oh wait, Jim, wait, sync
yes.
real quick. Sync your butt.
Yeah.
Sync everything you are.
That takes me from a 28 to a 27.
Wow.
What is your AC? I know that's a hit, but what is your AC, Lamar?
Oh,
Can I use a hero point to make Jim re-roll?
No.
I was going to check. All right. My AC is not that. My AC is 16.
So not only is it a hit, it is a critical hit. This thing deals a lot of damage, and I'm going to roll double it. That is 4d6.
Jim, if I make it through this.
Oh, that's pathetic. 2 1s on my first 2.
Good.
Plus 7 is 9. 9 plus 8.
A lot.
17 points of piercing damage as this thing just gores you. Now that boar charge is a 2 action, so it does have a 3rd action, and it's just gonna go ahead and try to gore you normally, which is at a -5.
Even though it moved back.
Is it Jim? Because I'm already down.
Oh man,
you're down already.
I'm unconscious.
So so what happens is when you get knocked out, you go to dying 1. However, if you get knocked out by a critical hit, you immediately go to dying 2. If you get to dying 4, you are permanently dead forever.
Oh my God.
This is the greatest welcome back to DM Jim I've ever had. My very first encounter, and I'm about to die. Bring it on, Jim.
It's your second encounter.
But I carried a child. Bring it on, Jim. You ain't
carried it for 9 months.
Jim, you ain't nothing. Let's go.
Seeing as you're down, this creature is going to then just move up to Peepa, and it doesn't have another action after that. So then it is Rias's turn.
I had my crossbow out. I'm gonna take a shot at this thing.
Okay, fire away.
With an edge.
with an edge.
With an edge.
Thank you guys for all the donations.
Okay, yeah. That is going to be... Where'd it go?
Math.
Yes. That is going to be a 19.
19 is a hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
with that bad boy, that's going to be a D10.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Dang it.
You have an overcharge?
Yeah, I got an overcharge. I'm going to go ahead and use that. That's going to be 3 points.
Oh, shit, that's
3
it?
points of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always disappointing on a D10 when you roll below a 5. It's like, come on.
So that was one action. My second action, you see it raise his hand, come up, scrunch his fingers. That blue energy starts coming forward. I'm going to shoot another ray of enfeeblement.
Ray of enfeeblement?
Yep. See if I can hit this bad boy. Come on.
Oh, poo.
Only going to be a 10.
10 is not gonna do it. Not gonna do it at all. All right. After that, we go to Sandy's turn. Sandy kind of looks at you, Oopsie, and he's like, "Should I try to hit it?
Take the shot."
All right.
Do it now.
He's hidden, so the creature is flat-footed to him. He pulls back the string on the bow and lets fly.
Nat 20.
No. The shot goes wide, and he's like, "Oh no, I missed."
It's all right. It's all right. Center breathe and go again.
Oopsie, it is your turn.
How far away is Khan Shaka from me?
Probably about 20 feet from where you are right now.
Okay. But I don't want to leave this kid alone in the woods.
What would a Khan Shaka do, Jared?
I'm gonna fire another. I'm gonna load the sling, take another shot,
hit it in the butt,
and then
all right
again. So let's see here. Rolling the dice. That's 13 on the die plus 7, so 20. Not natural.
20 not natural is still a hit.
20.
What's an overcharge do for me, Jim? Plus 3
adds
damage?
your level to the damage dealt.
All right. Well, I'll do that. I'll
Sure,
overcharge
it gives you
it.
plus 1 damage.
So we're gonna get
damage.
5 damage.
Okay.
Oof.
And then I load my sling again. No, I pick up my glaive for my third action.
Okay. You pick up the glaive. This thing is looking a little battered, but it is not down yet, and it is fierce.
Fanray.
It is fierce, and it is Fanray's turn.
Okay, Fanray lines up a shot with this
Okey-dokey.
arrow with the toxin on it.
You are still hidden, so it is
Shoot it in the
flat-footed
butt.
to you.
Okay, 15 on the die.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it. That is a hit.
All right, and I get sneak attack.
Yes, you do.
Bam!
Okay. That's 9 points of damage.
Nice.
Oh, jeez. All right, this
Plus
thing
the
is
point.
really starting to look beat up. And as the toxin enters its bloodstream, you can see, like, within moments, it starts, like, snorting and like, swaying on its feet. You're not sure if it's... The rest of you just aren't sure if it's the blood loss, though you, Fanray, know. You know what you've done. Peepa. This thing has gotten right up in your face. It's scary. It looks even beat up and bloodied. It, in fact, probably makes it look even more fierce. What do you do?
Are wild boars vegetarian, though? Probably wouldn't find her amusing at all.
I'm gonna try and hit it with my rapier.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to pull out your rapier?
No, I already pulled it out.
Yeah,
I said
she
it
did.
before. 19 on the die plus 5.
Tough.
24.
24, man.
24 is a hit.
Okay. 4 points damage. I go,
All right. It's still up. What do you do?
oh, again?
You got 2 more
I can hit
actions.
again.
Yeah.
I'll hit it again. In
Okay.
its face. 15 plus my 5, 20.
But
20?
But
Never mind. Then
minus your 5.
minus my 5. So
Or rapier's finesse weapon, right? Would that be a -4?
No, rapiers are not agile. Agile is
Not
the trait that gives a
agile
-4.
weapon, okay. So you're
16.
So 16?
16. Well, normally that would be a miss, but this thing looks a little woozy on its feet for some reason.
Okay.
So that's a hit.
All right. 3 points of damage.
Okay, this thing is still alive.
No.
But barely. What do you
bear.
do?
Let him
You got
do
one more
it.
action.
I have one more.
Yeah, you attack
I have
twice.
one more action.
You do.
I would yell to Sandy and I go, "It's your turn!"
All right. Kanshaka. When you are dying, you must make a flat check, which is equal to 10 plus the dying value. You are currently at dying 2. Flat check means on the die, no bonuses of any kind. What comes up, the number on the die. You need a 12 or higher to stabilize. Otherwise, you go down to dying 3.
Damn, I rolled a natural 20.
Oh! Not only do you stabilize, but you are at 1 hit point and conscious.
Yes!
What do you do? You wake up. You're alive.
I wake up?
Yeah.
Am I
Natural
near
20, critical success.
Am I near the pig?
It is about 20 feet away from you, and you are currently lying down. So you'd have to get up, but then you could move and strike if you wanted to.
I stand up. I look at the pig. I go to the pig.
Okay.
I hit the pig.
All right, hit the pig.
Barely standing up. You're both barely
So is he
standing up.
wounded 2?
Barely.
He's
standing
wounded 2.
What's wounded?
Or no, when you
Is
if
it
you
the 20
if
gets
you
rid of
roll
it?
a 20, I don't think you. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, I think you're wounded 2. I think you are. If you go to dying again, you start at wounded 2 and then go immediately to wounded 3. Or
Well,
dying 3.
I rolled a 23.
Michael Jordan!
Michael Jordan!
18 plus 5.
That is a critical hit.
Best wild magic ever. Poor Eric is missing it.
So that's double the die and then double the plus.
Yep.
Sounds like a commercial.
That's a D10. Give me a second. 11. 15 points of damage.
Damn!
You just almost disembowel this creature. What you notice, a couple of things, all of you notice. Any normal creature would be dead. But boars have a little known thing called ferocity.
That's right.
When boars are reduced by a hit that would reduce them to 0 hit points, they can avoid being knocked out, but their wounded value increases. So because it was knocked out by a critical hit, it is wounded 2, but it is still up and fighting. Because this thing does not go down easy.
Dang it.
Boars are
That does
hard to kill.
All
right.
And it is
Like
the boar's turn.
Oh,
It is going to try to gore Peepa, because that's what it was going to do last
Right,
time.
got my shield up.
That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and just negate the shield by using my edge to give me a +1 to your +1 AC. That is going to be 18 to hit.
That's exactly my AC
Ooh,
right now
gotcha.
with the shield for 1 round.
Oh, that is weak damage. Though you take 6 points of piercing damage as it just
Okay.
gets you with the gore. It is just enraged wildly. It's going to turn to Rias and try to gore him as well at a -5. I'm going to use another edge to make it a -4.
I'm going to use 8 sinks.
You don't have 8 sinks. But it doesn't matter because I rolled a natural 1 again.
Say it!
So then it'll
dirty
just
boar.
try to gore you again at a -10. I'll use my last edge.
Me or
I'm trying to gore Rias again
okay.
with a natural 4.
Lame.
It is now Rias' turn.
It is my turn, you say?
Yep.
Tries to gore, I dodge once. Tries to gore, I dodge twice. I'm gonna walk up. I got these claws on the end of my fingers, Jim. I'm gonna slash at its face.
You're gonna slap it. You're just gonna slap this guy right in his boary face.
That is going to be... Yeah, it's only gonna be a 14 on that one.
14 is a miss.
Yeah. Alright, so I missed it. Fine. I tried to slash it. Then as soon as I go to slash it, I'm just gonna reach out one little claw and I'm gonna touch it. Right on his forehead for a chilling touch, Jim.
A chilly touch?
Chilly touch. Chilly touch!
Does that require a fortitude save on my part?
I can't. I don't have my overcharge anymore. Yes, fortitude save on your side.
That is only a 13.
Ooh, that's gonna be a miss! You're gonna take this damage from me!
Can I glimpse of redemption the boar?
Technically, no.
Alright, I'm just saying.
I take that claw, I shove it right in its forehead, and it takes 3 points of chili damage.
Well, it had 1 hit point because it had used its ferocity. So that takes it to 0. However, it's only wounded 2, so it can continue to use its ferocity ability. It now goes to wounded 3, but has 1 hit point and is alive.
And guess whose turn it is?
At -3, it can. When it's wounded 3, it can no longer use ferocity. So the next hit will kill it. I'm going to allow
Sandy's got
our guest, Lamar Harris. I want you to roll an attack for Sandy and tell me what you get on the die.
I'm gonna roll baby's first Fisher Price die.
Oh no!
It is a 15 on the die.
That is going to be a hit.
Yeah!
That is a hit. With only 1 hit point left, there is no possibility for the boar to survive. The arrow strikes true, and the boar collapses under the weight. It was already at wounded 3. It immediately goes to dying 4. It is dead.
Woo!
You have slain. You have hunted the great blue boar. Sandy is just like, I can't believe it. I did it. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Khan's like, yeah, you did it. You did it. You did it.
I'm gonna walk over to Kanshaka, and I'm gonna pull out a vial, and I'm gonna give you an elixir of life.
Okay. That gives
so it's
me...
a D6 plus 1.
Sweet. It's 4.
Bang. There you go.
That makes me happy.
So you all regather your strength and celebrate your victory. And then you all begin the laborious process of getting the boar out of the forest, because it'll be a lot of carrying. However, retracing your path, you've already cleared it of danger, and you make it out of the forest by sunset. As the sun is just lowering below the horizon, you all make your way out of the forest. The encampment is overjoyed to see you return, and to see young Master Sandy is triumphant. His parents are overjoyed to see that you were successful and that you managed to keep the boy safe. And you notice, as you are making your way through the camp and Sandy is greeting people and regaling everybody with tales of your heroism, he is always, of course, careful to make sure that he includes all of you and let everybody know how you helped him and how you were there every step of the way and how your heroism was every bit as important as his own. And you can see that he carries himself with quite a bit more confidence now that he has completed this quest. And indeed, he has become, perhaps he has indeed taken the next step into becoming a man. Over the next 3 days, you feast on roast boar, and it's delicious. And the festival is absolutely delightful. It is a 3-day rich people party, so there's all kinds of crazy stuff that happen with music and entertainment and fireworks at night.
Kanshaka makes some side money dancing.
Kanshaka manages to make some money. You all, of course, are paid handsomely you get the full contract. So for each of you, there's 10 silver or 10 gold scales for each of you, and that is the end of our first successful heroic endeavor.
Yay!
Hey.
You did it!
And we survived. We almost killed the kid, but
sorry.
Hey,
Not
that's
we.
true. The only time the kid almost died was specifically because of Peepa. Peepa's, she might be adorable, but there's something dark. There's a darkness in her.
Those teeth. They're scary.
It's the teeth. Yeah.
So, hey, Jim, chat was wondering though, what about fortitude saves for everybody else because we're eating the boar that was poisoned?
I'm
not cooked out.
Rich people. Well, since Lord Ovisario knew about the poison, he also knew enough to hire a cleric on the side who would cast purify food and drink in order to remove any possible, in case there were any toxins, to make sure that the food was safe for the guests, of course.
Good.
I'm getting booed. Let's go ahead and talk to the chat for a little bit.
And pisses.
Silent H wanted everybody at the party to die of boar poisoning.
God, that would be such a horrible death.
All of your fire.
In my head is saying from Sandy, Mom, Dad, I want to go to art school.
Indeed, maybe he does. Info my head also says, I missed it. Did they ever found about Khan's fruit shenanigans? No. Nobody ate their fruit, and nobody knows about the extra fruit that Khan Shaka took from the forest.
No, he's got the fruit, and she's got the map.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe there's next time.
I think Voss was saying too, meat's back on the menu, boys.
That's right.
We did have some bits come in from Crossbones.
Nice.
And we got a new follow from Steve Krause.
Hey, Steve Krause, welcome.
Guys.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
Voss says, everyone knows you gotta lure your starting boar to the town center before killing. Wait, this isn't Age of Empires 2. And I get that reference. I used to play Age of Empires a lot, so I know all about that.
Nerd.
Oh.
That was great. We did it!
That was a lot of fun.
We did it.
The first roll, Jim, rolls against me after many years of being away from this family was a critical hit that downed my character. There's no better way to be reintroduced to this group. I had so much fun.
I wouldn't have it any other way. And you did manage to get back up and land a crit of your own, which that's hats off to you.
Yeah, Jim. I've grown over the years. You can't just flat out kill me anymore.
That's true. I have to try harder next time to kill you.
I feel like in the past, Jim would have, right after Khan Shaka walked up to it, instead of attacking Peepa, would have turned and attacked Lamar instead.
And just downed him again.
Jim has grown as well.
Everybody. Well, Lamar, thanks for coming on. We were super happy to see you here. Hopefully, we'll get to see more of Khan Shaka in another heroic endeavor in the upcoming weeks. But we'll check out. We'll see how that works out. For the rest of you, know that we will be doing heroic endeavors every week. However, you may see some different heroes. Each player will keep their same character. So if Diana plays, it's Peepa. If Khan plays, it's Rias. If Jamie plays, it'll be Fanray. But if you see somebody else, they'll be bringing a new hero into the HEI family. So definitely stick around and see how these heroes fare on their future adventures. Thank you guys so much for the donations and bits. It was a lot of that. Wild Magic was a ton of fun the whole way through.
Great.
So it was super cool to see that in action.
So many Michael Jordans.
Yes.
So many Michael Jordans.
And we leveled up too, right?
No, you didn't level up though.
Dang it.
We will see you all back. I'll see you here on Monday as well. Don't forget that we have our Reign of Winter campaign that Jamie gets her chance to kill me during that. So that'll be exciting.
I've been very close, Jim.
I know, you've come very close a couple of times. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for our very special, extra special Starfinder show. You guys have been clamoring for Starfinder, and we're finally bringing it to the network tomorrow. So make sure that you are here for that. And of course, check out our lineup for the whole next week, because before I see you again for Heroic Endeavors, there is a lot more streaming we're going to be doing. So make sure that you are here for as much of it as you can be, because it's all awesome. I will see you next time. And, Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Nuts.